Welcome to another wonderful week of Dungeons and Dungeons. Previously, our heroes of Waterdeep traveled to the Storm Temple to reunite Terra with her Valkyrie sisters. Ignatius took a trial of the storm, allowing him and his companions to gain new powers after passing through an endless maze into the Oracle Pool, watched over by the mystic crane of the storm. Returning the group, they found Terra adorning new armor with the Star of Halal on it after Tellius triggered a memory between the two of them. At the mention of the Titan Forge and the Sun Stone, the Valkyries collapsed to one knee, holding their heads in pain.
Oh, that's right.
You guys see in front of you all four Valkyries inside the little alcove of the Storm Forge, and as they're holding their heads, it finally stops. Some of them were grunting in audible pain, others were just taking it. As they look to one another, you can see this confusion on their faces. As they look to one another, you can see them exchange a few words back and forth, making sure that they're all right and that they all felt the same thing. At the mention of the words again, it doesn't appear like anything happens, but a lot of them are definitely shaken by what has just occurred a bit, and you can see confusion and worry on their faces. What are you doing?
What was that?
The Raven Queen Valkyrie looks up. I don't know what that was. You see Terra just sort of wide-eyed and worried. Cole is the most emotion you've seen on Cole's face since you've known her, as she's been very this passive way of the storm, go with the flow. She looks over to the Raven Queen Valkyrie, and I've never felt something so strange, as if mere words could cause pain. There are such magic spells that literally do arcane damage, but I don't think it didn't seem to do anything again at the mention of it. I don't understand.
I mean, did you guys see something, or
Did you see something? The Raven Queen Valkyrie looks. I didn't see anything. I felt pain inside my head. And Terra looks and is like, I felt it too. I felt pain. I didn't see anything either. And the other Valkyrie, I forgot her name. I couldn't find it in my notes because it's somewhere upstairs. What's the fourth Valkyrie's name that's with Terra? It's slipping me. It's in my journal upstairs. And it's on a different laptop. It was Terra and... You got this. You got this, Ignatius. Save your DM. He works so hard. I only have like 700 NPCs. Next campaign, you can guarantee I am going to be way better at tracking my NPCs. Without a doubt. What's her name?
Dessa?
Dessa, that's exactly her name. Thank goodness. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dessa, who is normally the grumpiest of the lot, you see her look to each of her sisters and go, same. This is stupid. Well, the Raven Queen Valkyrie looks to all of you. This is yet another thing on a list of things I will look into to try and understand what is going on. You've seen the Titan Forge, and you've talked about these stones, one of which that one of your companions, Ulyrus, once used, the grass stone. I don't know if that has any significance to us, but I will look into it and see why such a thing would cause pain. And maybe you can try it if you ever run into another Valkyrie to mention those things and see if that does anything to them. Was it just where we were located? Was it just... I don't understand. As you can see, you're very determined to find his answer to a question that she knows most questions. Like this, it answers to most questions. It's almost annoying to her to have something unanswered. As they right themselves on their feet and they all gather their bearings, Cole walks over to you, Ignatius, and notices the spark in your eyes, and she puts her arms on your shoulders as you can hear your armor rattle, and you can feel this warmth between the two of you and more like a spark, that like numbness that comes into you when you get shocked. You're feeling that as like a reassuring dull under the tips of her fingers on your shoulders, and you can see her smile at you and go, "I see the trial went well."
Did.
That is wondrous news.
Yes. A couple more to go, I guess.
I look forward to it. Whenever you wish to return in the next week, I'm sure the trials will be waiting for you.
I look forward to doing more and continuing on this path.
Continue to bring the storm, Ignatius, as she releases you and leaves the group to decide if you want to talk to them more or leave. The Raven Queen Valkyrie disappears into shadow and leaves. It is now just the other three.
That was cool. Alright, so we did what we came here to do. Reunited some sisters. Did the trial. Can't do another one for a week. We all ready to head back?
I'm ready when you are.
Alright.
It's about time.
Let's do it then.
As Ignatius casts the spell, you can see this Spyro-esque portal with all these lightning bolts off the side of it open up in front of you guys. You can see the shimmer of the portal, similar to the portal you went into to begin a trial, but this one's a little more... It's opaque, but you can see a little more of it. So the opacity's not as strong, the blur's not as strong. You can see where you once were in Minna. As you guys enter through, you are exactly where you left inside Minna, and a little bit away from the center of the city, the epicenter in one of the camps. You're immediately greeted by the heat and the smells of the streets. About 2 minutes of time has passed from when you once left, when you went to the Storm Temple and back, and the day would probably be around as the sun was setting, so you're probably around 8 or 9 p.m. at night as you return. As the sun is still up in Minna, it's one of those things where, because it's now becoming summer in the south and they're near the equator of it, the sun's out for like 12, 14 hours a day. It's brutal here. And that's why it gets so hot and the desert's so rough. It's not a desert, but like, it's tough for plants to grow. You are all inside a camp right now that is private. You are going to meet up with Blackstaff later that night. She's going to be leaving in a few hours. Brian is off doing her own thing. It is up to you guys if you want to go track down Blackstaff, chill out, then track down Blackstaff. If you want to explore the city of Minna, get on with your day. As you guys' last objective was to go revive Shalmir. If that is still your objective, that would mean going to track down Eve and taking that ride with Blackstaff to Nature's Hold.
I mean, my vote is just to meet up with the group that's going to Blackstaff and the Grey Hood.
Okay. So we'll
Sounds
jump
good to
right
me.
to that. There's no reason to wait around. So as the time goes, you find Blackstaff out in a group with a bunch of Greyhand around. Salem isn't with this group. He's actually already missing at this point. But there are a couple other Greyhands talking to Vera right now. As you approach, she smiles and waves you over. You're inside the circle. She gives greetings and gives one last check of, you ready to go?
Everybody good?
Good to go.
And with that, the entire group is able to teleport to Nature's Hold. You guys find yourselves inside the teleport circles, back at the top of Nature's Hold, inside the final stand area that the Chosen were once standing in. A bunch of northern soldiers, drows in their silvers and greens of their full plate armor, have their spears drawn and looking at the teleport as you come in, and then recognizing Blackstaff, they go back to a standby position, and the customary greetings are there as the Blackstaff inside Nature's Hold, and after them you guys step off, and then a group of Grey Hand teleport in, and they are one of the casters in the Grey Hand use their teleport to bring the next group in, and they go forward, and then a group of soldiers come in. It's not a lot, but it's a couple waves of people make their way back up north as Blackstaff looks to...
Blackstaff?
Yes. Yes.
If it wouldn't be too much trouble, would I be able to take a moment and review this sequence so I would have access to this?
Yes, I don't see why not.
I'm just going to take a minute to memorize it.
Absolutely.
Onto my sequences.
As you're doing that under your sequences, under a minute, she's just checking in with all the different soldiers and making sure everything's okay. In the north, everything's fine. She explains to you guys that Brine is planning to come back later the next day through her Sworn. One of the arcane casters inside her Sworn are going to bring her back. And they're right now sorting out the details of what armies are going to be rotating in and out to make sure Minna stays free, the northern half of it, and all the logistics of the armies, the wars, the supplies, and the new free state, how they're managing all that. So Brian's staying back an extra day, but L'Oreal is staying a little longer to really do some hard managing of Minna before transitioning back home to Waterdeep. The only problem is, like, both Blackstaff and L'Oreal very much want to get back to Waterdeep because we're just post-war. We need to make sure home is stable, but they also don't want another war on their doorstep in a few months. So they got to make sure everything out the world is stable. So Vera is in a bit of a rush to get back to Waterdeep in L'Oreal's absence, but not like in the next couple days. And she just communicates that to you all, catching you all up as she is interested about your travel to the Storm Forge, or the Storm Temple, as she does inquire to you guys of, how did your travels go?
I became a gladiatorial champion. It was fantastic.
That is good news. Freedom from what was once awful. I also expected nothing less of you, Charnook.
One thing that did kind of come up that you might be interested in is there was a time when we were in the mines when we ran into a group of madness lizard folk deep underground.
When?
During our time when we were unfortunately captured, they had us in the deep mines, the iron mines, or what was it? The ivory mines.
That is very important information. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'll make
I think, if I'm recalling it correctly, it almost gave the impression that they had been there for like ages. It was like a very old cavern.
We accidentally dug too far.
We will make sure to send our most capable warriors to investigate this. As you all are on your own missions, I would send you, but you have greater things to do right now. That is most concerning, but interesting nonetheless. Again, I believe we might have briefly touched on this during our meetings, but I've already forgotten because of so much that has been going on, and there's been so many duties. It's so wonderful to see you all again.
Yeah.
It really is. And she gives you a smile, her hands crossed, the staff tucked beneath her armpit, as she gives you a nice broad smile as her bright white teeth kind of like contrast her black skin.
Yes, and then after that we went to the Storm Temple. We reunited Terra and Dessa with their sister Cole. who's at the temple, which was very nice.
That's great.
Yes. We did a storm trial.
Interesting.
We passed.
Terrific.
Good stuff.
That's the best.
Yes. And then we were talking to the Valkyries about, stuff about the Titan Forge and so on, and the grass gemstone and the sun gem, and out of nowhere.
We don't know about the sun gem.
No,
And
we
it's
don't.
stone.
Okay.
I looked it up because they call them infinity
Sunstone.
gems. These are called stones.
Stones. Got it.
Everything's stones.
Stones.
Except the orbs. The orbs aren't stones.
They're
the
not
orbs are
stones.
orbs.
Exactly. Do you need more MacGuffins? I'll put more in. I got more.
Yes, more. Give me more.
Wait, isn't it the Infinity Stones?
No, it's the
not-
Infinity Gem.
Yeah, but gemstones. But they're gems. I know. I looked it up.
Not the Infinity Orb.
gems.
I don't
Different.
think they've ever called it a gem.
I know.
I think they always called it a stone.
Just Google it, Ryan.
That's fine. I'm just saying, in the movies, they only say stone.
Do they say stones in the movies?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
In the
they do.
movies,
They never
call them
say gem.
stones.
That's so dumb.
They never say gem.
Yeah.
But in the
Comics.
comics, it looks like they're labeled as gems.
Yeah, I was like, it's probably a comic versus movie thing, but in the movies, it's always stone.
I'll get back to you. I'll workshop another thing we could call these very sparkly
Pebbles.
things. The pebbles. The sun pebbles.
I think it's also the timing, because if you look at the Wikipedia page, it says Infinity Gems, originally referred to as Soul Gems, and later Infinity Stones.
Okay.
Yeah. New stones, yep.
Just think about like when they're trying to take the thing out of Vision's head, they call it the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, they're all
Whatever.
the
They're
time
fucking stones.
stone.
It's fine.
There's something with power.
I don't
It's
know.
the rock. Special rock.
the
Yeah,
rock.
We're gonna get there. It's just gonna be MacGuffin Rock, is what it's gonna
Yeah,
be soon.
MacGuffin rock.
Rock of fun.
Super happy rock.
Uh,
grass.
So wait, they felt pain after we mentioned the forge or the grass stone?
The Forge, the
Gem.
Titan Forge.
After we mentioned the forge. Okay. Yeah, so after we mentioned that, they just felt pain randomly for a split second, and then it was gone.
I'd say about 30 seconds. They were like,
Oh, 30 seconds.
they were like on their knees,
Okay.
just in pain for a little bit, like taking one knee or holding their heads, and you guys were just
Yeah.
like, "This is awkward as fuck." What? It's one of those things.
Yeah,
where you're
for
just
like 30
do we
seconds.
Leave? Do we do something?
Do I help? What do I do? Do I tilt their head inside?
And then it just stopped. And we said Titan Forge again, and it didn't do anything. It was only the first time, so I don't know what that was about.
That sounds very strange, very interesting. And she takes out a small little leather-bound black book and she jots some notes down and then closes it. She's like, I have to say, your group is by far the best at giving us things to do. There's always something new to explore, new information to find. You have, honestly, find the most interesting places in the world. Reviewing your black box data. Thartazan? That was a trip. That was... wow. I thought I saw a lot of things in my time, but I did not see anything like what you experienced inside that ancient city.
It has weird.
I'm not sure whether to say you're welcome or I'm sorry.
She's trying to tell us that we don't get enough done.
We're only 5, 6 people. There's only so much we could do.
Very true. Very true. That's why we have this new group that has been kicking around. I guess you... New to me, anyway. These Chosen. They are... interesting, to say the least. And they seem to cause just as much trouble as you do. Speaking of which, I was told that Eve is out and about around here looking for you. The Chosen did something to help out Eve that helps out you guys. They didn't
she's
explain in
awake.
detail.
two things.
You
We
do
talk-
know-
we talk-
You do know that. That's
Yeah,
your
I already told you guys.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I got
No.
message from Ulazal, and I was like, great,
yeah.
cool.
I'm right here.
Wasn't that like right before or after you blew up
It was
the tower?
it was
after.
right it was right after I launched the meteor on the tower and you guys killed the
Members.
3 inner circles over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a message and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, great.
Awesome.
It's nothing better than that timing right there. Just like, this was unnecessary, wasn't it? And Colvin's, no,
meteor.
it wasn't.
Boom.
It was perfect. It's just rubble and destruction.
We needed a tournament arc.
Well, I guess that's our next stop.
Let's go
yes?
find Eve.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You could.
One of the guards tells you she is out in front of the vault. There is an area that you are escorted to. So I'll describe that. I'll describe that after, unless you guys want to do something else. I'll jump into walking down to the nature's hold.
No, let's leave.
Oh wait, we have to get the orb from Blackstaff.
That would be important. As you see
Orb.
Blackstaff trace arcane symbols in the air, and the orb appears in her hand, and she goes, you know what? I think I'll join you for this. I'd like to see what Eve has to say as well. So she hands you the orb, but she walks with your group as you guys are escorted to Eve.
Yeah,
Which orb is this?
this is air.
Air.
This is the air one. Okay.
It's like yellow-white.
This one is the Paragon of Light.
Oh right. Yes.
That thing from a million years ago.
Yeah. I remember that.
The thing we immediately did after Rorlith.
Yes.
As you guys travel to Nature's Hold, you actually find yourself going below ground after you're taking through this. It appeared they called it the Ever Autumn Forest. It seems like a lot of trees are being regrown. They were cut down, and it seems like there's pockets of missing trees inside here. But there's this like beauty to it of this endless autumn that encompasses all these directions around your group. All these trees are these brilliant oranges and reds and browns as they're all mixed in. It gives this relaxing feeling. You get this pungent smell of like fall. For all we know in the Northeast, that fall smell. You know, when you go outside, and you're like, it's fall.
Smells like dying leaves.
Brisk air. Yeah.
Yes,
and
brisk air
pumpkin
indeed.
spice.
You end up going down into down a couple ladders and through a corridor or two made out of stone and rock, and you find the air starts to become more humid, and you start sweating a lot more, and it all starts to feel like 95 degrees as you're down here underground. And as you travel deeper, you start to see all these tropical looking plants inside here that most of you aren't familiar with. And as you are walking deeper, you can see different lizard folk inside the walls and on the grounds. The walls are carved out into little like flat beds. They like look up at you, and then they put their heads down as they seem to be resting in this area as you turn the corner and find this large looking gate with Eve just sitting cross-legged, her curved staff leaning against her shoulder as she has her hands put together crisscross applesauce style as her eyes are closed in a meditative stance, with all these different lizard folk sleeping out and around and abound this area down here.
Eve!
Her eyes open, and you can see a grin from her lizard face as she goes, "It's good to see you all again."
You're awake! What happened?
I am indeed. It would seem I was under the delusion of madness. My people were attacked at Strongclaw, and I believe somebody you've met named Ragnorum Geckham came and led his horde into our village and decimated us. And she stands up now, using her staff to stand her upright and meet you guys and greets all of you. It is wonderful to see you all in the flesh and all still doing well. I see you have brought the Orb of Eternal Harmony Air. This is what my visions showed me to tell you. The Paragon of Light would guide you to this, and this is itself is an extension of the Paragon. You met with some angelic type creature, no?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it brought us straight to it.
That's terrific.
Yeah, it
Anything
didn't
else?
help us very much fighting Ragnorum, though. We just kind of stood there and didn't really care. It's really not helpful at all.
Yeah, pretty annoying.
Yeah. The people seem to be, how you say, uninterested with our struggles, and how Kane would say, are assholes.
So is this what we need? To bring back Shalmir?
No, this won't bring Shalmir back at all. She takes it. And she goes, but I can bring him back, as she reveals a massive diamond chunk in her hands. As I have a way.
Steve.
One of the chosen, Bologna, took the pathways of nature and was able to recover 5 such gems. She was given us 2 of these gemstones to me to use right now. She still has the other 3 on her person. And I would like to bring back Shalmir, but there is yet one more thing to do.
Oh my goodness.
We need something of Shalmir's, of that of great importance to him, in order to do a resurrection. He was utterly annihilated by Orlith, so it's not as simple as it would be. And when I recovered Maznel, just about everything of importance was on his person, so the resurrection ritual was no problem.
Well,
We don't have the grass gem anymore, right? That got stolen.
yes, Ragnorum has that.
I have his toolbox.
That's significant.
I'm just
What
looking
did he
at
do with
something.
his...
Or that tablet he had.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Eve turns around and she does some
Did
arcane...
Shalmir have magic items?
He did, but you guys left that shit. You guys can go back to the mountain and get it if you want.
Fuck.
Well, I mean, it might not be so bad. It might not be so bad now. I mean, we cleared that place out pretty good, and once Orlith died, it seemed like things calmed down quite a bit.
If we can make a quick trip to Waterdeep, we could perform the ritual in his workshop.
We could try that.
That's true.
That is a place that is deeply important to him.
There are a lot of
Blackstaff,
cats in there.
roll 80, and Blackstaff comes over. She motions towards the vault, and they are now casting these arcane runes. And there's like 3 other mages there too. These are northern mages. You didn't see that. We're just like chin-chilling in here, and you can see them dying of heat as they're very used to the north. They open up this vault, and you can see it's all this brilliant stonework, very elven-like, but it's this cross of like, it's the stonework of dwarves with the architecture of elves down here. And there's all these different like magical barriers that have different tints to them, blues, reds, greens, all throughout. And there's all these different, it looks like, artifacts that are behind each of these walls. And Eve goes to a particular place and she puts the air orb there, and then she's like, oh, and then she takes out the fire orb.
Whoa. Whoa, I need that one.
Wait a second.
She goes,
What?
the Chosen also found this.
What?
They found it in a local tomb in the north here. It belonged to an evil deity that seemed to have been hiding it.
No, that belongs to Charnu.
That's mine. I need to bring that back to where it belongs, like right now.
That's what they were. That's like his family's personal heir, like the different. I think you said the different minotaurs have different orbs that they guard, and that was his.
Well, I mean, if you can guard it, and she goes to hand it over, and it's yours, just as we understand, Ragnorum seems to be tracking and looking for these. Inside here, the items basically disappear from existence. You cannot scry them, you can't trace them. Inside these magical vault, it is lost to the world, and it could be kept safe. That's why I'm stirring the air one here for now, but this is yours, and I will not stand in the way of your culture. But I would give a warning of sorts, especially if you plan to return to home. I don't know what home looks like anymore. The Lin Ryu, who helped the North during the war, used to live in Jalasia, and they described their land falling into utter chaos as madness has spread throughout the area. I just want you to have as much information as you can, Charnook.
I can bring us back here whenever we want, Charnook.
Charnook, forgive my bluntness, but didn't you all tell me that you ran into Charnook's people and they were afflicted with the madness? So I'm not sure.
That's not good.
I'm not sure how safe the orb would be bringing it back to your home.
The orb needs to go back. But you do bring up good points.
She's already handed you the orb. You have
feel anything?
It feels warm.
Does a scar leave his face?
Am I in excruciating pain?
No, the pain completely dulls. It's numb on your face, and I would say bits of the scar begin to retract. It's it's next to nothing. It's very tiny, a couple inches now instead of completely across your face from where the lich wounded you. As you now are in possession, you may add that to your inventory, the Orb of Eternal Harmony Fire.
Now it's just a reminder, don't do that again.
The labyrinth is built to protect the orb, and it's normally filled with beefy, strong minotaurs and crafty folks who know how to protect it. But it seems like all of those defenses are gone right now. And with the world in the state that it is right now, it may be wiser to keep it here until we can defeat Ragnorum and quell this madness.
Until we can at least create that maze into a safe haven once again, at least.
Agreed.
Its resting place.
We can make your homeland safe again, or we can banish this creature, or deal with whatever it is. Just as long
I
as
don't
he's out
know
there.
if we can banish it. I think we tried that last time.
You're just disappointed. Just disgusted. Like hoping to definitely dodge the buck on this one.
Well, I definitely think this is the wisest decision. Especially since, like Eve said, they basically exit existence while they're here.
As far as I know, it would be impossible to track. There are many such artifacts in here. As she motions, and you guys can see a bunch of them. If you want to look at any of them, I can describe to you what they are. You won't know what they are, but you can just be like, "What? What?" And you'd be like, "I don't know." And then you can be like, "Oh, maybe there's crazy shit in here. I don't know."
So the other two aren't.
I'm going to search for the Great Sword of Bludgeoning. No, I'm just kidding.
Shockingly, it's not here.
Damn.
But what is your decision again, Zach?
He's I'm clutching it.
You can feel the warmth of it, and like just that surge of like home to you, this comfortableness as you're touching it. It's just it's very difficult to let go of such a thing that you've been tracking since the start of this campaign. It swirls with all these beautiful reds. It's just all these different color reds, brighter and darker reds as it swirls around.
Home is different now. And I hand her the orb. I have to. There's no other choice.
Understandably, Chanuk. Whenever you want to see it, let us know and we will open and you can check in on it.
Much appreciated.
Just think of this as a new maze you're putting it into.
As the orbs go in, all 5 casters bring up a new arcane barrier on it, and the 2 are floating next to each other. You can see the red and the yellow like brightness behind the blue overlay, like arcane wall that is now in front of it as they just hover inside this little alcove. That's like each of them have these little alcoves carved out where artifacts are on pedestals or floating on their own or in some sort of holder in all these different areas throughout this vault remain.
As a quick aside, Blackstaff,
Yes.
that nifty trick you do with your own personal storage space, is
Yes.
there anybody else I might be able to learn that of or potentially commission an item from? Is there anybody else so I'm not troubling you directly?
Well, it is a technique that was developed by Blackstaffs before me. I would be happy to teach it to you. Just timing can be rough right now with the entire world being in the state that it is. If Adam comes back anytime soon, I'm sure I could show Adam through some of it, and then whenever you have time, you could work with Adam to get such a spell done.
All right.
But if you want to work with me and we have some downtime, I would be happy to try and teach you this spell.
I would love to. I have some thoughts since we lost that important tome. I'd prefer something more secure for certain items, even if it's a smaller area.
I have sent Greyhound agents out to try and track this down, and maybe we will be lucky. And maybe we'll have a one-shot with it someday. We'll see.
All right. Sounds good.
Let's see, is that just about... All right. Got that. Cool.
Hey, Tyrion,
Yes.
can you send a message to the Lich and let him know that I found it? And, tell him to maybe uncurse me?
I don't really have the ability to send messages long distance.
I do. As Tullius looks over your shoulder.
Oh, thank you, Tellius. I knew someone here was
It wasn't me.
was at least magically powerful enough to send interdimensional messages. Come on, Tyrion.
It
what were you
wounds
thinking?
me that you confused me with Tyrion.
Hey, Charnu,
Excuse me.
do you remember how that tower fell?
Nope, what are you talking about?
Just remember that.
Tyrion goes boom as Tullius pats Tyrion's head, and I'm fun. That's the difference.
Sure.
Right there. Here we go. As he goes to send a message, what do you want me to say to him?
Just let him know that the orb of eternal harmony, fire, is in a safe location. And
Recovered
it's no longer
and in a safe
recovered and in a safe location.
Right.
And politely ask him to maybe uncurse me.
Hey there, Aelion. How you doing? Chanuk here found the orb. safe and sound, locked in another vault. Funny, like, there's a lot of those out here, apparently. Remove the curse, maybe?
It's good. Nice work.
As a favor for getting rid of that annoyance, the curse is removed, and I am grateful the orb is safe again. And you feel the scar disappear from your face.
Oh, finally! My modeling career can begin again! Oh, fantastic. Oh, but let me tell you, that was like living with, like, a migraine just 24/7. I feel as though I can, like, lift mountains now. This is fantastic.
You guys are pushed out of the vault. Now they're like, okay, we can't keep this open long. Let's go. We need to get it off the map again as everybody's escorted out. Does anybody want to make a glance at any of the things here?
Sure, yeah.
Go ahead and make perception checks.
Look at the cool stuff I made for you.
No, I don't have to, but it was just funny. Like, I knew I spent too much time putting stuff in the vault. I knew it. I felt it. I'm like, this is too much. This is too much. You got to write the rest of the stupid session read. No one gives a shit. They literally can't access any of it.
Oh, well. Hey, can I have that?
The fucking answer's no. What do you got for your rolls?
19.
Oh, I should do that.
Hey, can I get... No, okay.
Natural 1. I am distracted.
You're like... "Ah!" So you don't see shit, Charnook.
Party time.
Party time.
Tellius plus 4. Oh, actually, I wonder what his modifier is.
He has half proficiency, so it's probably good.
Cool. Let's go to D&D Beyond. Anybody else making perception checks?
D&D Beyond.
Sure.
Tell me your numbers.
Zeph does not care to look.
Yeah, I figured.
Ooh, that's pretty good. 21.
Nice. 21. I never heard Ignatius, even though I know you said it like 4 times.
He said 19.
19, 21. And Tellius Von is perception. Oh, plus 10, 19. Shit. Okay. So, as you guys are taking turns and walking out, you do catch it looks like an enlarged hand that is severed. You do see that inside here. You do see an orb that is inside here that seems to be black, and there's a strange swirling sensation on it. It's just levitating by itself. It caught your eye because it's yet again another orb inside this vault. There appears to be, you would be familiar with, it looks like some sort of Reaper scythe is in here. There is a fan that seems to be like floating on itself and rotating in a circle. It is made of platinum. It looks like in some parts with it's black and platinum, and each of the things like Katana's fan has these razor point edges around it as well, like in the centers for where the wood would be when you expand a fan out. You see a wooden box. No, I didn't say, hey Siri, where's a wooden box? No, I didn't.
Well, where is a wooden box?
You see a wooden box. It kind of resembles a coffin of sorts. And it appears to be like carved in are these like pallbearers, and it looks like halflings. And they all seem to be like crushed by the weight of whatever this wooden box is on top of them. Another interesting thing is this, you can see this large beating heart that's suspended. There's all these different, like, it's not floating on its own. There's all these different cables, like, holding it in place as it beats. Another one has this glass box, and it seems to be holding different jewelry inside it. Another one seems to have a strange-looking bottle with all these arcane runes on it. In the last couple here, there's a crown that has all these inlays of rubies on it. And there is this very strange-looking snake statue. It's a creature that you guys are not familiar with. And you can try and make a history check.
It doesn't look like things we saw, the dead bodies we saw.
Oh, it does. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, these are Yanti. It does resemble what you saw down there. It has a giant emerald inside its mouth, and it has 5 arms, 4 in front and 1 above, and each of them are holding different curved blades, scimitars like Tellius uses.
Interesting.
So those are some of the crazy things with your 19s and 21s you guys were able to pick up on as you guys exit out of the vault. Outside the vault, you guys now can resume conversation with one another. Inside the warm area, they seal it up, and you see Blackstaff give a nod to Eve and be like, "That is extremely impressive, and I think I know how to repurpose our vault once we have an eviction of a very annoying neighbor." Eve just smiles and nods. They look to you guys, and so what is your next move? You returning to Waterdeep?
Well, do we? I can return us to Waterdeep easily without having you waste any resources, Blackstaff.
I appreciate that.
We could go if everything is all in order here.
I think you guys might have mentioned if our intention is to revive your friend. I think you mentioned his friend. He had a friend or something.
Oh yes, Fanlin.
No.
There was a friend out in Fanlin who's gonna meet him in Fanlin.
I wonder if he's still there.
We might be able to try and get him.
Ipso, says Blackstaff. There's a half-orc that's been working at the forge, the mythical forge of Fanlin, for years now.
That is probably them.
Yeah, that's been definitely information in this campaign that's been said multiple times. Zach gave me a very confused face. Yep.
For some reason, I thought he was a dwarf. I don't remember that correctly.
Nah, he's an orc.
He's a half-orc.
Okay. I believe you.
I believe the guy who made that character. Is there any way we might be able to bring him to Waterdeep? Do we have any way to get to Fanlin?
We could just go in the forge if we teleport there instead, right?
Can you tell?
Well, I don't have a way to get to there. I don't have a way to get there.
I've never been in the forge, so I can teleport you all there. Eve just like.
I mean, you could, but it'd be dangerous.
True. We'd be
We could probably get to Fanelin and then walk to the forge with our legs.
Could do that.
Oh, look at that. We all have...
Right?
He can't
Crazy.
he's not a teleport. He's not a wizard. He can only go places that he set up the circles with. Or the
I know.
places. Tyrion.
I'm just... There is a wizard here.
Yes, we're not going to use Blackstaff as our personal taxi.
Yeah.
I'm just saying...
He's like, I'm going back to Waterdeep.
Right.
Is there...
Doing.
There's no way... Is there any way through the Grey Hand to get out to Fanlin? I know that they were kind of isolated last we had heard anything.
Can we send...
From the war.
We send, like, a wizard courier to go and retrieve him and tell him what's going to happen and teleport him to Waterdeep?
I mean, that's potentially an option. We could send something like that out there.
I just
You
think,
see, Telly,
you know...
like, I could send him a message if somebody... I could send him a message if somebody shows me what he looks like so I can be familiar with him. Does anybody know what Ipso looks like?
Well, tell you. Oh yeah, never mind. He wasn't there.
We-
when we got
had
there.
we-
We had not seen him.
Yeah, it
We-
hurts, doesn't it?
Have
We'd
we
heard
seen
of him. We had heard of him, but he had not arrived by the time we had gone through.
Didn't he give Shalmir tools at one point?
Yeah, I'm almost positive I remember a scene where Shalmir was all buddy-buddy with somebody.
I know that Shalmir did meet Ipso see Ipso and Fandolin at some point.
Oh, he might have been there then.
Yeah, because you guys stopped in Fandolin, I think Ipso was there because of the direction that was given to him by the Mountain Lord.
Okay.
So I think we do know what he looks like. So I can send him another message. Spouting through all my spells, chit-chatting today.
It's just because no one's good enough to do it but you.
With that flattery, I'll inspire myself. Hey, Ipso! It's Tellius! We're gonna bring your best buddy back to life! Come to Nature's Hold, and we're gonna bring him back! Because of you!
Or come to Waterdeep.
Or come to Waterdeep. Whatever's... I think I'm over. I think I'm way over. Tullius. It's been a long time. I'm in the middle of
Did he-
a lot of stuff here. I can't quite just put everything down, though I would do anything for Shalmir. And cuts off because he's running out of...
Did he even know that Shalmir died?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he did. Did he?
I mean,
It's been 5 years is the thing.
I guess.
Okay,
So,
alright.
and then the whole war
That's fair.
happened, and you guys came back.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
information
Yeah, that's
definitely. He just got to grieve alone because you guys are the worst.
That's-
You're
well,
and you
the world needed saving.
It sure did. You did all this other stuff, and he just like, but what?
We broke the chains.
So he's been in the grieving process for like 2 years now. He's all right.
Oh,
He like accepted it only like 2 years ago. Then he heard about it a few months ago and just brought it all back. That he finally hears you guys contact. It's just like, oh, he could have invited me to the funeral.
we haven't had a funeral this whole
we haven't
time.
even really had one.
Oh my
It's been
God,
non-stop
guys.
movement.
Oof.
Oh,
I
we're
mean-
awful. That's because he was the cleric. Ow, there's jalapeno in my eye.
Also, we never really intended to have a funeral because the plan was always to bring him back.
That's
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's
That was
true. That's a
immediate
better
plan.
reason.
And then-
We were like, all right, he's dead. Not for long. 2 years later.
Not for long. Oh, the world's very different. We did it as soon as possible. It was like 6 months for us. All right, and we got enslaved and.
Listen, it's hard to bring people back to life.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I revel in this. All right.
What's up?
Tellius let you guys know. It's like he doesn't want to really leave, but he'd do anything for Shalmir. I mean, like, I don't. Leaving would be doing anything for Shalmir, so he's a little confused, I think.
I mean, what's he working on that's so important? Can you ask him that?
Yeah, I'll try again. Hey, Ipso! What could be so important that isn't reviving your friend? I mean, just get to Waterdeep. Save Shalmir.
Boom.
Well, I'm working on something for the Mountain Lord.
We've all got gods, damn it.
I think Shalmir would want me to finish my service to the Mountain Lord. And then I can... And it cuts off again. Tell me this to you guys. He's working on something for the Mountain Lord! Like, Who does he even think this guy is?
Wouldn't the Mountain Lord want more servants?
Do mountain lords work like that? Are they the servant kind?
I have no idea, honestly.
I don't either. Mine talks in riddles, and I never hear anything from her, so I don't.
I've never heard anything from mine.
She just
All you
stares
special
at you.
folks.
Just
All you
stares at
special
like-
folks hearing from gods. The voices in your heads are telling you to do weird things.
Yeah, Tullius leans in close. That begs the question, are they real? Or are we just insane?
If we're insane, that means we're like insanely powerful because there's been some stuff, right? You've done some stuff.
Right. Yes, I like this. Let's not think about this. As he grabs you by the shoulder and starts looking off at all the sleeping lizard folk inside this really cramped, humid, basically dungeon.
We should set up a bunk here.
I mean, we can. You see Eve being like, I'm going to stay here until you guys figure out a plan. Let me know what it is. And Blackstaff's like, yeah, it's getting hot. She's like wringing out her shirt. She's like, I'm going to head up to the top. You guys let me know if you're coming with me to Waterdeep or not at the end of the night. Or if you're traveling to Fandlin, go find some northern troops, and I'm sure they'd be able to outfit you with travel gear. As she heads out in front of you. You can see a lizard folk lean over to Charnook, and you see him give this like, just leans his hand into one of your pouches, and he starts rummaging around. Do you stop him, Charnook?
Reach over and I grab his chest.
Yeah.
And I just start rummaging around. And I sniff him back.
He takes
aggressively
out like one of your rations, and as you do it aggressively, he's giving you like these little growls, but he's challenging but not challenging at all. It's one of those like, I want the food, but I'm also tired, and you look strong, and you don't find anything on him. He's a lizard folk.
I take the ration from him.
Yeah.
And I split it 75-25,
Yeah.
and I gave him the 25.
He is elated, and he goes back to sleep after he eats it in one gulp. He just slams back down onto the stonework.
See, I appeased him and also asserted my dominance.
And there
Plus
you go.
one friend point. This green, strong claw individual views Charnook more positively now.
Strong Claw will remember that.
All right. Do you guys want to head to the surface and discuss, or do you want to still chill out in the humid area down here?
Let's
Nope, let's get out of
go.
here. It's warm.
Okay.
What do you mean, Tyrion? Oh, sorry. Wow. Ignatius. It's been a long day. Let's just go up top. You know, there was a conversation there, but it's gone now.
You guys are at the surface, and Blackstaff actually takes Orhana aside and talks with her a little bit, and then Orhana returns to the group, and she's like, hey, I think I'm going to go track down the book we lost. I'm going to go lead those fools that Blackstaff has tracking down the books of Heavens and Hells. I'll get back to you guys about it, but I'm going to take off with her.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, do you need anything? Do you need some money? I mean, yeah,
I got
this
money.
is so sudden. Oh, right. Yeah, you're like super rich, aren't you? Yeah. Well, it's just so sudden.
I'll be back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll miss you.
I'll miss you all too. Don't do anything to my room. I'll shoot you.
Understood.
Okay.
Bye then.
As she then calmly walks back over to Blackstaff, and she's like, yeah, they're cool with it.
Can I tell you guys something? She always made me really nervous. It's just so shifty.
Yeah. He's a bit of a firecracker, whatever that is.
Fair.
Firecrackers exist?
guess there's some sort of fireworks in this fucked up world.
You said there's no gunpowder, but there might be other explosives.
There's a spell called pyrotechnics.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Stay away from the gunpowder for now. Most likely ever.
She is a little
Just too much.
pyrotechnic.
Doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
No, I didn't like it.
So, what's our plan? Are we gonna bring Shalmir back today, or are we gonna try and increase the chances?
I mean, I
delay
think
it?
we should get his friend and try to increase our chances so there's no hiccup.
Like,
I mean,
if we go somewhere else and don't immediately do the ritual, we're gonna get caught up doing some ridiculous thing. And
I don't
there's gonna
disagree
be
with that. We're
freaking-
gonna get caught in with something and we're not gonna be able to leave.
there's gonna be like Godzilla erupting from the earth, and we're gonna have to like free the villagers of some. I don't know. There's gonna be something weird, and
So-
only like local law enforcement won't be able to handle it, and we're the only ones who can possibly do it.
let's just go to Waterdeep and take a few days off. I think we've earned that, and wait until everything falls into place. I mean, we've been waiting long enough to make sure this happens, so we should do it right.
If we
That's
go to
fair.
Waterdeep, that's where we have most of Shalmir's stuff, right? We can
Yes.
rummage around, spend some time looking for significant things, and
I mean, Charnook needs to make sure the bar is on the up and up.
I trust Lupe. Lupe's pretty. I mean, don't let him know that I said this, but he's way better than I am. Like, eons better than I am.
But it's your bar.
This is very true. What do you think, Zeph?
I mean, whatever would be most successful if we don't. Eve said we only have 2 of those diamonds, so don't want to waste it.
Yeah. Especially, I don't know what happens if you try it a second time. If it's harder or if it's even possible.
Right.
So we want to make sure to get it right. So,
I think we should send the wizard courier to get him. So
Okay.
What wizards are couriers?
no, I'm saying like send a wizard
any
as
wizard
a
that-
courier. That's fair. We do have money. We could pay somebody.
Any wizard, if we pay him enough, will be a courier.
I'm so rich, guys. I'm so rich. We can totally pay someone to do this.
You guys know Ralia's name, right?
Oh, that's
She
fair.
has she has some money. She likes some money. If you pay very handsomely.
All right.
Right.
Well,
Hang on, guys, I gotta do something. What disappears? What the?
Actually, I don't think
Comes
this
back
group
like 2
knows.
minutes later.
we'll kidnap people for money.
I don't think Ralia knows this group much at all because she came after Orleth.
My God.
No, probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever met.
Zach, were you imagining Ralia like on the side of a street with a cardboard sign with it on it?
Yep.
We'll kidnap people for money.
We'll kidnap for gold.
We'll kidnap for gold.
They paid me so much
I'm
the
going-
first time, I just figure this is the going rate. This is much better. This is so much easier.
People just walk
Venturing
up.
is stupid.
People come to me and I just pop in, pop out.
I'm gonna go look for a wizard capable of teleporting, other than Blackstaff.
Okay, you can.
I'm gonna ask around the first the Grey Hand and then the Northern folks, and I mean, I'm really anyone who likes money and can teleport people.
Give me a charisma check.
Oh boy, I'm really good at those. Oh, that was pretty good. That's a 17.
Alright. As you search around Nature's Hold, you're asking all these people, and they're like, what level is a teleport spell? It's like a 6th or 7th level
It's
spell, right?
Teleport is a 7.
7.
So, but teleport circle
is 5th.
Fifth.
I don't know. Is there a teleport circle? in
Except there
Phantom?
are no teleport circles in Fadlin.
Dang it! Ugh.
There is clerical teleportation.
That's true.
that
Clerics have
Waterdeep
word of
has.
recall, and that's a 4th level.
However, none of us have knowledge of that fact. Because it was the Chosen
Ignatius
that
would
set
know.
that up.
Ignatius would know.
No, but Ignatius wouldn't know if they
Would
have
I,
a
though?
stronghold set up for.
Would I?
If
You
they
would know
have
that
a
clerics
place-
have. Okay, I'm done meditating.
You have to understand, Ignatius isn't your average cleric.
Not your average cleric.
That's just like, I mean, we could walk.
He doesn't
Yeah.
understand.
You certainly could. You do find a individual, a drow that's like, you understand this is high magic we're talking here. Like,
Well, do you
Most
know
of us-
anybody who's really fast who could get the job done? Because we need to get him from Phandalin to Waterdeep, and that's quite the task.
that's weeks, if not months, long journey. That's
Exactly, that's the point. That's why I'm looking for people who can teleport.
Most of those people are helping out in the war effort and stabilization right now. You talked to a gray hand at one point. It's like Torleaf could do that.
Where is he? Where's Torleaf?
He's in Fanlin.
He's in Phantom.
He's been setting up Fanlin since we
He's already
invaded.
there. So he's already there.
He's
Yeah,
already
quick
there.
trip for him. I mean,
He's halfway there already.
We know
Send a message.
we know him, right?
You briefly met him. You just saw
Yeah.
him as this jacked up wizard under Blackstaff. He got every medal
Tough
ever
wizard.
for surviving within the shadows chain of one
Yeah.
shots.
Only
Okay.
survivor.
Yeah.
Tellius, I have another message for you to send.
Well, I'm out. No, I have one more.
So our good buddy Torleaf that we know very well,
Mm-hmm.
it just so happens to be in Phandalin.
Oh.
So
Okay.
perhaps he could be the one to get what's his face down to Waterdeep.
Okay. Hey, Torleaf. Tellius here. You know, we're best buds and all that. We need you to get Ipso to Waterdeep as soon as possible. You can reply to this message. Torleaf. Hi, Tellius. Are you asking me to kidnap Ipso? How
What
many-
would he say?
How many messages can I send?
So it's a 3rd level spell.
I
So
think you can upcast it.
you can upcast
Oh
it.
no! What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? I see at will cantrip message. What the
Okay,
fuck
no,
is
that's
that?
that's a different thing.
Message
Message is one
that's-
thing, and
that's
sending is
called sending.
another. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sending. Yeah.
Message is within 120 feet without many
Oh, I see the
barriers
range.
between you.
Oof, oof.
Yeah, that's the
My
short
hands
one.
are starting to shake a little bit.
Yeah.
I am the king of interdimensional communication.
Oh shit! Does he? It's a 3rd level spell.
It's a
It's a 3rd
third
level
spell.
spell, but it can be upcast.
Upcast.
So he's a paladin though, so he's a half caster. Well, no, he's a
Good bard.
bardadin.
He's barded in.
Bardadin.
He doesn't have actually the spell.
He might not have it prepared.
probably doesn't have it repaired
Does
right
he
now.
prepare spells?
Yeah, as a cleric, you prepare spells.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
What classes don't you prepare?
Sorcerers, bards,
warlocks.
warlocks,
Because that's
Druids,
super
I think.
lame that you can't
rangers do not.
He
Um,
doesn't
prepare.
have
You
sending.
just gotta select it and be like,
Who the
yeah,
fuck got sending in this group?
I'm cool.
Oh no,
with
he
that.
does.
It
He
was-
does, he
Definitely
does.
Tellius.
It's in
Yeah.
his bard.
Like
It's
he
in his
has
bard.
it.
So why bard known spells? Why wouldn't it? Does he have to prepare bardic spells?
No, bard spells you typically know.
Yeah. Why isn't it showing up?
But
So
cleric
he
spells-
might not
he has
have it.
access to cleric spells as well.
He's a bard, cleric, paladin.
Or
Jeez.
sorry, he has. Hang on.
No, he's
He
a
has
paladin
access to
bard.
it somehow.
He's a paladin bard.
He's used it before.
So you get a certain amount of spell slots
Found
based
it,
off of
found
your.
it, found
Okay,
it, found
okay,
it.
we got it.
Oh,
Okay, we're good.
jeez, that took way too long. So he's done 3. You're gonna start burning his 4th, 5th, and 6th levels.
Are we planning on fighting anything today?
We're not doing
He
anything.
gets those back as soon as we go to sleep.
Yep.
I'm just gonna throw in a counter.
We're just going to Waterdeep, basically, so...
Can you upcast sending?
Yeah.
It doesn't display it, but you still can.
Oh, okay.
Like it displays upcasting for spells that scale in damage.
Yeah, I know we've been over that before, or
Okay.
I read it somewhere or something like that, so I'm very
What?
certain.
Laura Bailey does it, therefore I can do it.
Yeah. I was like, I know there's been upcasting.
We will continue to do this, but you see Tellius look like, well, I'm going to talk to someone I want to talk to by the end of this day, because this is ridiculous, burning all my spells. Let's hope some Ragnorum doesn't burst through the floor and kill us all tonight.
I hope that doesn't happen.
I do too. All right,
That would be really unfortunate.
he sends another spell. Not kidnap. We need him in Waterdeep. Bring him. He's got to help us bring back Shalmir.
Okay, there we go. Context.
I was like, to save Shalmir.
Torleaf. This sounds like an honorable task, but I'm gonna go ask him and see if he's okay with this.
No, just do it.
You see Tullius? Well, I guess we have to wait, because he's gonna go check on him, so I'm gonna go check on one of our friends. Hey, Thorazan, what's going on? It's Tullius here. Where are you? What are you doing? I'm really bored, and my friends are the worst. I hope you're having fun. I miss you.
That was adorable. That was like a postcard.
Yeah.
Ah! Oh, it's you, Tullius. Excellent. Good to hear from you. Magic Mountain. Amazing! Literally amazing! So much going in here. Tim Tom, enough! Hope to see you soon.
Magic Mountain. Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
We're going to Disney.
I was so convinced Tim Tom was like a teddy bear.
Dude, I'm so glad.
I'm not.
That's what made me happier as a DM, is everyone's thought of what it was, whether it was nothing or whatever. And
I was
to
like, it's
know
totally a teddy bear.
it's a golden
That it was a
Bulgura
giant Bulgura. Oh shit!
who is who is very literate, and he's a scholar and enjoys poetry.
It's true. We had
Winston.
some nice.
Wait,
nice
did we find that
banter.
out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyrion did. Yeah, he talks
Because I
extremely
can
poetically.
understand him.
Yeah. He's like extremely well written and well read. And
Wait, how does he deal with Zardathan then?
it's from what you guys, since it's been so long, just to jog your memory, it's very much like Zardathan is this crazy person that just yells at him.
Finds it
And he's
entertaining.
basically like got his glasses on, it's ignoring him, and he's just like, very well, sir, very good, very good. That's very much the dynamic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like
you guys
Alfred with
stand there-
Batman. Alfred's just like,
Yes.
yes, certainly, Mr. Bruce. Yes,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
You are
Certainly.
that, Bruce. Yeah, or Mr. Yes, indeed, your grace.
Yeah, I love the, it's just like, yes, we can't have crazies, running about. By the way, I, pressed your tights and like put your batarangs away.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Yes. Wow, what a connection. Thardarzan is apparently Bruce Wayne, and the Bulgura, Tim Tom, is Alfred. Right. So you guys stand there for like an awkward 10 minutes before I tell you, like, do I do a sending back? Do you think now is about the right time to send something back?
You could probably send if you can teleport, I would think, right?
You get a message from Torleaf. Ipso said he already talked to you today and said he can't leave. It really sounds like you're trying to get me to kidnap him.
All right. What about if he brings us there?
Tullius sends a message. How about you come to Nature's Hold and teleport us there? How does that sound? I mean, this would be the best of both worlds, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
Nice.
Thank God.
We
for,
did it.
Thank God for people being bored.
I gotta roll a percentage die.
That's more fun than what I was doing anyway.
I gotta look at the teleport spell. That's not a good roll.
This is how he dies.
He's survived so much.
Not
and he just
necessarily. It
dies
just might be the
in
difference
teleport.
between Nature's Hold and
Like a
Chang
mile
Ding.
away or something.
Yeah.
What'd you roll, Reed?
53.
53. How familiar is he with it?
Seen it once.
Seen once. Similar area.
Yeah,
It's
I'm looking at
53.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I
I am not
tell
wasting
us-
another message. Are you kidding me right now?
no,
Did he
mean
say when he was coming? I mean,
I don't care. He sits down and crisscross applesauce. I don't care. He'll show up at some point.
but I mean, do you guys want to? Do we have anything else we need to do to prepare to go?
I'm set.
Green, did you want to go shopping or anything?
About 15 minutes of you guys just chilling out here. An individual in leather armor, a half-elf, walks up to the crew. His hair is this tidy blonde in a ponytail. He has all the gray hand lookings about him. He has a gray hand hood on him as he walks over to the group, and he's just like, there you are. Hey, look at you all. Found you.
My man.
It's so you all need to go to Fanland and hopefully not kidnap Ipso, right?
Oh, we're totally not going to kidnap him. We're going to smooth talk our way.
yes.
Into
We
a
have
one-way
Eve with
trip.
us, correct?
No, you gotta go get her. So, sake of brevity, you guys go and grab Eve. Eve comes
Thank you.
back to this train wreck. of
We
people.
forget he. that'd be awesome.
She's just chilling
come
there.
back, get her. Yeah.
Okay, we're here. Everything's set.
Shit.
You brought it up. I'm loving this, all right, because this is just,
This is messy.
it's what you're doing, you know? Your group is a fucking train wreck right now, unorganized, being like, we just get it, right? No, you gotta still learn it, you little bitch.
Frickin' the Chosen are going around solving all the problems and doing all the shit for this group
Yeah.
and solving our stuff. And meanwhile, we can't even like.
Can't even finish
They
it.
literally
Can't
gave
figure
us-
out what
can't
plane
even-
terminal is the right one.
We're just so
Do
lost.
I go 6 or D3?
We have no idea what's happening.
I'm loving
Just
this.
Just
643
just
Chicago?
a train wreck.
They gave us the key, they gave us the lock, and they gave us the instruction booklet on how to use a key. And we're like, I upside down? Is it?
It's
No,
not
we're-
working.
like the one
It's
that's at
not
home.
working, guys.
We're trying.
Not
to
even
put together-
working.
We're trying to put together an IKEA furniture, and we're just like, where the fuck is this piece?
And everyone's aware, like, they know it's on them, but no one wants to admit it. Everyone's just like, we're doing our best, because everyone's at fault right now, and it sucks.
Oh my god!
They sent us one too few screws. No.
This screw is supposed to be here. The directions say we need one more E screw.
You guys, like,
It's
force
under
it.
Charnook's foot.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Everyone, get up and look under
Like,
yourself.
6 pages later, you're like, what? Oh, I get it now. No, they should have put that before! No! That makes sense. No, we don't need that screw. All right. Eve's here, and Torleaf's like, all right, I'm excited to show you Fanland. It's it's doing really well. Since I've been there helping manage everything with Liliana. You've met her briefly, I believe, right?
She was
Yes.
totally killing some demons the last time I saw her. It was pretty awesome.
Yes, she is killing demons in the political sense of the town. So,
That's the worst kind, honestly.
yes, it certainly is. So, is everybody ready? We all good to go? 1, 2,
Ready to
6
go.
of you. All right, let's do this. And off we go. And you guys teleport to Fanlin.
Hooray! We did it!
You guys are inside Fanlin with Eve.
Finally.
You see Eve being like, last time I teleported, I was attacked by monsters of madness. This is much nicer. As you see, the town of Fanlin starting to have some more stone roads as they're laying down cobblestone roads in certain areas. Still some of the dirt roads around. It looks like the Red Brand mansion has been nearly restored as time has gone on. It looks like a place that houses many. The tieflings seem to be housed out there as you see multiple tieflings walking back and forth down the path towards the town. There's the ramparts around the town that guard it, the temples, and a lot more houses in here than you last remember. The town of Fanlin is bolstering with excitement. There are Greyhand, there are Waterdeep soldiers, there are Lin Ryu here. Not many northern soldiers inside this town. There's definitely a far stronger southern presence inside Fanlin. As you guys arrive inside the town. And you see Torleaf like, you want me to, do you know where Ipso is? He's in the cave.
No.
All right,
Oh.
so I can escort you all to the cave so we can go do that. As you guys walk, it's nighttime, by the by, so it's like 11 at night, so you guys are okay with walking 11 at night, get to the
I
Titan
dare a
Forge.
wolf to try and attack me. I dare it.
All
They
right.
can't even see me. So
You roll on that random encounter page. Do it.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
As you guys walk through the hills and toward the Wave Echo Cave, you can see there's all sorts of barriers and walls around the cave now at this point. Knocking at the door, there are guards here that let you guys in, and now the shaft itself actually lowers down as it has some pulley system to lower you guys into the mines. As you start walking into the area, many things have been blocked off. You can see there's like entire barriers that have been erected and signs being like, no one's allowed past here, do not go in here, this is dangerous, we're still dealing with something here. And it's definitely in like the sloppy handwriting of a grumpy dwarf. And as you guys find your way eventually to the chambers, the familiar chambers, which are Nuke-Loss's life, of the Titan Forge Grass. This one's Grass.
Yeah.
You can see Ipso busily at work on the forge as he is hammering away at a sword at the moment. He looks up. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you're here now. Please don't take me. As he
So,
continues working.
I don't want to have to try and forcibly remove you, but Tyrion is really mad at you. He really wants to bring back Shalmir.
He puts the sword down, and behind him you can actually see 4 tablets that are carved out on the wall, and they're like propped up, and you can see this like orange glow behind them inside this place. It's neat, it's tidy, it's clean inside here. There's all sorts of armors and weapons inside this area. The forge itself is blistering with warmth and heat. The lighting is much better than when you were last in here. The ceiling has been completely repaired and there are no holes in it. As Ipso steps down from the Titan Forge, he is yoked from the last time you saw him. In the sense, not like I'm gigantic Lin Ryu, but like he went from string bean, I'm Ipso, to be like, oh, I've been working on a forge for 5 years, god damn it. Orc blood! So he's a little more swole than you last saw him, and way swole compared to what he once was. As he comes down, wiping his hands on the towel he has at his side, he looks at all of you and gives a grin. It's like, it's good to see you all. It's good to see you all again, but it's kind of painful. I miss my buddy Shalmir. He was quite a teacher to me, and I would do anything I can to bring him back. What do you need from me?
We just need you for like 2 hours to come to Waterdeep with us.
You see him look back at the forge, and you can the tablets behind him. He looks at those and he looks back. He's like, "All right, I could do that. Just real quick, though, right?
I mean, we could get a night's rest. So that way all of our wonderful transporting individuals are fully prepared for the day's events. And then, you can prepare what you need to prepare. Eve, is there anything do you think that he should bring? Or, I don't know, is there any of Shalmir's stuff here that was important to him?
Ipso looks around and is like, this is all my stuff at this point. I gave Shalmir my tools, which I imagine are no longer with you guys. He didn't have much. He didn't take much with him. He was very much in the belief of the Mountain Lord. He wasn't of worldly possessions. He was all about the forge and the craft. Did you... What happened to his hammer? He wielded a hammer, right? Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys lose his hammer? The awkward silence.
Well, I assumed that Tyrion was going to say something.
It is currently at the place of his falling because we didn't really have a chance to recover anything immediately. We kind of got whisked away pretty much right after we finished killing the demon.
You see Eve being like, that is my fault. I did do that, but I mean, they just could have picked the stuff off the ground. I mean, it was urgent, but I mean, what was that, 5 seconds to do that? She totally throws you guys under the bus.
It was a very tense moment, okay?
It was. All right, well, you guys go get your rest, and I'll be there in the morning, and hopefully we can find something at your home of Shalmir's to bring him back. For the sake of brevity,
okay.
If you guys don't want to do anything, take your long rest, start the next day, teleport to Waterdeep.
Should we go to the mountain? Should we get his stuff?
There's no way we can get to the mountain in a reasonable amount of time.
Fair enough. All right, we'll just do it then.
Okay. You all go with jumping to Waterdeep, burn the spells. Torleaf will help you guys out.
Good old Torleaf.
As you guys are back in Waterdeep after a night's rest and in teleport, Ipso is definitely nervous, and you can tell he really needs to be continuing with his work, whatever that is. And as you guys arrive at home sweet home, you're immediately embraced by your staff. They're so happy to see you. Lupin just like, oh, Chanuk, I was so worried about you. I mean, I just missed you so much, my man. Like, it's not the same when you're not here. And I may have made a drink in your name because I was worried that you were enslaved and stuff. There was horrible rumors. As you see Matt Mercer being like, just at his table, like, whatever.
I will give you the lowdown later, but we have something very important to do right now. So.
Yes, of course. You see, Gustavo Yums, who's just like, oh, I'm going to make you an entire helping of those delicious delicacy of rings. I will get those right up for each of you. As you can already tell the smell going, and there's this excitement in the town as you guys have returned home. You can see that Yavanna has been here, and Orhana was here as well. They have been in these areas, checked their stuff out and about. So good to know that they're still around.
Resurrection and onion rings. The true American classic.
As you guys go into Shalmir's forge, there's all these different cats still on the forge that seems to have this ever-burning light under it. And you can make investigation checks to try and find if there's anything significant inside Shalmir's forge. Or his room, for that matter.
I was just gonna I think the forge itself, just being here, is a significant area. That was my intention.
Yeah.
21. Charnook, as you look around, very much it's, as Tyrion's deduction is, it's probably the forge, if anything. All the tools here are rusted, and the stuff has been, there's nothing of importance. Even the stuff he was working on, a lot of it's half in progress. It's ores, it's materials, it's nothing. The shop is in disarray. Shalmir would be so disappointed. And there's a lot of cat shit everywhere.
Is there a shovel? I feel like we should probably clean up a little bit before we do this.
Certainly, yeah. So you could,
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
And Tullius prestoing all around, and all the kids are like, as they're getting pushed around by you guys. But they're also like dicks because they don't want to move. So it's just like, aren't you scared of me? And they're like, you wouldn't dare. All right. As the forge is here, Eve takes out the diamond. Ipso's like, why am I here again?
You were important to him.
You're important to him, and having people close
All right.
increases the chance of it working correctly.
Okay. All right. Then I will say a prayer to the Mountain Lord to bring him back. As Eve prepares the ceremony and says, "Thank you, Ipso." Does anybody else have anything they want to do to try and bring Shalmir back?
I mean, I'm gonna take out his ashes and put them on the ground.
Yeah.
We kind of need those.
She picks up the ash and she's like, "This will help." She has this the diamond above it. Anybody else?
Sorry it took so long.
Guilt. Roll for guilt. All right then. As Eve sits down and she begins to cast True Resurrection, she's going through the chants and Ipso's praying. The ashes begin to glow. The diamond starts hovering in the air. She breathes deep. The fires of Shalmir's forge begin to get brighter and brighter and brighter. You can feel this familiar presence and this friendship forming around you guys. And over the course of the next hour, at about the 30-minute mark, the spell fails. The diamond comes back down, still intact. The ashes are there. Ipso looks up from his prayer, and he's just like, is that supposed to happen? And you see Eve just what the fuck? As she's looking side to side, she's like, I'm going to recast that. And the process begins again. And about 30 minutes in, it fails again. And you see her stand up being like, and then she turns her back to you guys and instantly communes. What would be the equivalent of a rage commune to her like this?
What the hell?
I go into a rage and then I commune.
And
Can't cast spells while you're raging.
when she turns around and she's just like, this is not enough.
Damn it!
This is not a close enough connection to him. I'm sorry, and I am angry.
Eve, our house is your house. Make yourself comfortable. If so, you got
And you see her, like, she nods, but she, like, nearly takes the door off the hinges, and this is the angriest you've seen Eve, because, like, this is her bread and butter, baby. And what the fuck? When she casts a spell, she casts a spell. This is nonsense. So she's getting the steam off, and you see Ipso being like, I was a bit worried something like this might happen. I mean, he was a mentor to me, but, you know, I wasn't like a son to him, clearly. He could travel to where he first taught me inside the mountains. Some of his followers are still there where Shalmir first carved the tablets into the walls of the mountain, where he first heard the Mountain Lord.
Yes, we totally know all about that.
You don't?
We know exactly where you're
He never
referring to.
told you about this?
No.
You see just Ipso like, oh, these are our basic tenets. None of you follow the Mountain Lord? He's angry. he just is like, everyone knows. Everyone knows my God.
Sorry. I'm trying to follow the storm.
Storm's not going to bring Shalmir back.
Well,
Take me from my work with the Mountain Lord and you don't... he's disheveled. Do you even know where he came from? You have any idea what mountains he's from?
do we?
Are you
think
kidnapping
so.
Shalmir?
I don't think they know.
They don't. It might have briefly came up, but they certainly forgot.
Yeah. If you do know, it was like in the very beginning of the campaign.
It was probably episode 10 during the intro.
Yeah,
I wasn't there, so.
Yeah.
Neither was I,
Elyrus was.
obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, you liars.
Elyrus isn't
He would
here.
know.
Yeah, you would.
Tellius, message your liars.
See, Tellius, I am not your personal messaging box. When you start
But you're
treating me
so-
with more respect, then maybe I'll send a message for you. As Tellius begins
So
pounding.
good at it.
He's revoked your messaging privileges.
Oh,
Tellius, would you please help us out?
Tyrion, I appreciate the courtesy, but I am still putting my foot down to make a point here. As he sends a message. Thardazan! Updates! How's it going?
so stubborn.
Thardazan replies to him, but he's not sharing it with you because he's pouting right now. He's like, that does sound very interesting. I'm sure my companions would love to know.
So,
Yes, back to you guys.
of
Ipso's like,
course,
all right, well, Shalmir brought the teachings of the Mountain Lord to us and the Hornhabu Mountains, or Hornahabu Mountains, depending if you're from the south or the north, however you want to pronounce
does
it.
ring a bell, actually.
We were drawn there by the teachings of the Mountain Lord. Shalmir didn't share with us his past, but he was certainly guided by the Mountain Lord to this point, and he was just trying to find his way in the world, giving the good teachings of the Mountain Lord. He taught me how to smith, and he shared wonderful stories about the dwarfs that he bonded with and that taught him and showed him such a pathway. He was a terrific mentor, kind and patient. If you travel back, I can show you where it is, but I have to get back to the forge. The Mountain Lord requires more. I've never heard him so demanding. It almost sounds like he's worried. Why would he be worried? He's a god.
Talk to him, find out.
I'm just a smith. I don't have a class.
I'm not an adventurer. What do you?
Not everybody you meet is as talented as you folks.
Well, if you could show us to this mountain, perhaps Torleaf could then bring you back to the forge.
That'd be
when we
much
get there,
appreciated.
I suppose maybe you have some business there anyway, maybe, that you would like to get done. Or you said there were other people, maybe you need to talk to them, I don't know.
It couldn't hurt to stop by quick. The Mountain Lord will send his messages, and if that's the case or not. All right. Yes, indeed. We'll do that. I can show you a map as he comes in, and Matt Mercer has many maps from Readoff when Readoff was there. And I believe Readoff is there now at this point, actually.
Whoa!
You do see
Hey.
him because enough time's passed and the traveling's between places, and Readoff is talking to Matt Mercer right now, and Matt and them are just enamored, and they just sort of shove a map your way, and they're like, go away. He shows you the
Destroying
pathway.
the oppressive empire that was holding you hostage. Whatever.
Yes, very much. Thank you. But there's more to talk about. And as they're continuing to talk about, and you can hear whispers of going back and forth. It's like, yes, yes, and no one's heard anything from the crossroads since. That's very strange. Why would something like that? I mean, wasn't that one of the major places of operations? Like, yes, we haven't heard anything in weeks. It's very strange. And he's like, that is. I wonder, because you were saying, that they were doing. And they continue back and forth talking, as not Ignatius, the other half orc, as Ipso shows on the map. Is like, you travel along this mountain range here, and the entrance is at this point. It's just a pathway. There's no special words to be said or sung. It's very open. The Mountain Lord is open to many new followers. Inside, I'll come with you, but 3 of the current followers are Bema, Phalon, and Len. These are 3 keeping up the forge that Shalmir built inside the mountain. He tends to set up a lot of forges. I wasn't going to say anything, but this wasn't his best work.
They say home is where the forge is.
Well, he had a forge before the mountain forge. He always talked about how it was the greatest forge he's ever used. Then again, maybe the Titan forge is probably one up that. Anyway, as he points to the map, it's like, there it is. So whenever you want to leave, just let me know. I hope sooner than later would be nice. And Torleaf's just like, I'm good on my responsibilities. I'm just going to go check in with the Grey Hand and see what's going out. I know Salem was pretty hell-bent on a mission right now. I want to check in on him and see what's going on with his mission. So Torleaf
Have fun.
leaves. You guys,
Grab a drink on your way out.
You see him pick one up. He's like, I'll bring it back. He's drinking it on the way. What else do you guys want to do? Or we can just fast forward to Torleaf coming back and you guys attempting to teleport again, abusing Torleaf.
Abusing?
He
He
seems
came
to
really. He was bored in Vandalin.
Things are now super simple now that he's not murdering hordes of kobolds.
Sure.
This is back to the normal, boring Grey Hand stuff.
Is Adam back yet?
There's just a
Your
moment
onion
after.
rings are served, by the way, plus other food and stuff. It's a beautiful. You guys sit down and you're able to eat food, and it's lovely. It's the best food you've eaten in months due to your internment.
There's a moment after we finish eating.
Yeah.
That Tyrion just gets up and just I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
After the ritual has failed, and he's just gonna go up to his room.
Yep.
Close the door.
Yep.
There's a little bit of quiet, and then you just hear a scream. It's like, ah! And then a couple minutes later, Tyrion reappears.
Hey Tyrion, how was your room?
You know, it's exactly as I left it.
Nice. No spiders.
No, why would you think that?
Just, I haven't been home in a while. Sometimes, vacant spaces.
Maybe there was a
Ingrid
loose
comes by. And
floorboard or something.
she comes over and she's just like, I take great care of your mansion. And she gives you these dagger eyes. It's half joking, half not. As she walks by, taking some of the plates away, giving you guys a wink as she walks away.
Yeah, but I could use a drink and some downtime before we get into anything else. What do you guys think?
At least until Torleaf comes back, I can relax. Is there a dartboard around here?
Yep. Which is definitely going to defeat the purpose. As Zeph goes to do the dartboard, and it's just nothing but bullseyes. It's just constantly, and he's breaking the darts. And he's like, all right, stop that. So now he's purposely shooting around the darts.
Can you make a portrait of me, Zeph?
Not enough darts.
Yeah. I start using arrows.
Alright, that's...
It works
Well,
out pretty well, actually. Eve is getting bombed out of her fucking mind, by the way. As you guys keep looking over, she's at the
Oh, that's dangerous.
She is shrieking heavily. Like, this is a lot. She's muttering to herself a lot of stuff in languages you don't understand.
So, Eve, what did Mugdis say anything else other than, that we didn't have the right stuff?
Magnus is a bitch.
Well, I don't think you mean that.
I mean it.
I think you're just upset because
You're
we
upset.
came all this way. Would
Make
you
a
like?
saving throw.
Oh no! What kind?
I think it's wisdom. I gotta look up the spell.
I'm most definitely not good. There's literally no matter what saving throw it is, I'm not good.
They're all bad.
Charisma. It's even worse.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. You disappear into this very cushy plane, and you're just stuck in the middle of space, just drifting. And there's all these like happy butterflies around you.
Oh, she cast banishment on you.
About a minute
Say
goes
the king.
after. Yeah, actually, yeah. What are you doing?
You hear? Where am I?
As you're twisting through space, you see one of these like happy butterflies. It's like it looks small, but as it gets closer and closer, the wings are like massive and massive, and these are like entire city size. Like moth comes up to
My
you,
God.
and it turns around, and the wings like open, and then on the back of the wings, you see these like demonic inscriptions on there, and it's like in the face of oh God, what's his name? Oh my God, who is the guy you pissed off? You banished from your plane. What's his name? At the height of the war, when you used some Book of Heaven and Hells. What is the deity's name? 13 layers of hell.
Asmodeus?
Yes, you see Asmodeus' face on each side of the wings, and you hear, Charnook! I knew I would have my chance for revenge! Ah! Ha, ha, ha! You will die here! What do?
Swim away.
You're just going in a circle. You can't get away from it right now.
Oh shit!
He's like, run! Run! Ah! And it turns into the Satyr King's face. Ah, I love you. Oh, you're a beautiful little bitch. And then you teleport back. As you're now wide-eyed, as you once thought Asmodeus was about to kill you, the Satyr King was instead pranking you.
That was in bad taste.
As you go to talk, Eve's not where she was anymore. She's now in a different booth, sloshed out of her mind across the table, just doing like lizard folk shit right now. Instead of like laying in the booths or anything, she's like on top of it like a cat, but she's backwards and she's under like one of the torches, and she's like turned the torch upside down, and the oil is avidly spilling on her as the heat though is still all right.
That seems like a fire hazard.
It definitely is, because the whole thing is on fire now, the handle.
Oh,
But it's in a metal case, so that's fine.
I feel like. Well,
She's a cleric.
you know-
She knows what she's doing.
okay. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna not get banished again, and we'll leave that to that, I guess.
So, yeah.
That was nope.
Okay, so then coming back a few hours later is Torleaf with a smile on his face. He's like, well, things are always interesting out here in Waterdeep. Salem is looking around for a dwarf right now, interestingly enough. He's trying to find all the individuals that were lost during the invasion of Tendorf. There was this orc army of sorts that was hired by Escott to try and bail them out. And there was rumors of an individual somewhere inside Waterdeep that might know the location of such a place. He's busy with that, so he can't join us for our journey I offered. But he's out and about doing all that work. It's a lot of our close friends. Did you know Calgary?
Oh, yeah. Us in Calgary, we go way back.
We can't find him. And that's most worrisome to me, as me and Calgary have a long history, and he means quite a lot to me. So,
Don't like that.
this is troubling news, but at least we have the very best of the Grey Hand on it. Alright, so we going to that place now, by the mountain, hopefully, that I've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at it on this map and see these detailed pictures that it showed you.
Okay. Let's roll. Oof! You guys, the dice are not with you today, let me tell you. Alright, the group half-half doesn't wait, and you teleport with the drunk Eve.
Oh, guys.
And,
Oh, no.
oh god. Oh god.
Oh, his expression's changing. This is going to be spicy.
Boy. Where the fuck are you gonna end up? All right. As you guys teleport, you feel this disruption as you're going through, and as your stomachs lurch, you guys take 11 points of force damage. As you guys appear next to, it feels like you were like almost merging with stone at one point, this ruins in the middle of a forest. As you guys teleport out, and you see Twirleaf being like, oh my god, that's oof. And you see Eve just like, as she takes the pain, not even noticing it as she goes a few feet and just lays on the ground, just without any energy, super depressed at the moment, as she's just like, maybe you should get a better cleric to get you where you need to go. And you see Torleaf's like, I'm not a cleric. That's not how this works. And he looks around. You guys see this decimated ruins inside here. There's all these like craters around in this area, and there's a bunch of like broken wood and boxes that seem to be torn asunder. Entire half of this like little stone fortress here is just wide open and broken down. It looks like there was a horrible struggle, and Torleaf's just like, okay, give me the map. Ipso, give me the map! As he's looking at it, and he's trying to re-centralize himself. You guys can make a perception check, or if you want to try and surmise where you are, if you care to know where you are. Does anybody care to know where they are?
I rolled a 25 on my perception, so that's pretty
20
good.
for perception.
I rolled an 11.
Okay. For the group, based on stories you've heard and like taking in the area, being like, I think I know where we are. And especially with Calgary recently coming up in conversation, this seems like to be the story that was shared with you of the Astrid Grove, where the last stand happened during the Kobolds' invasion to stop Intel from getting to Waterdeep. This is also potentially the place where white phosphorus was once first found and weaponized. These are the ruins where many Greyhand died.
Well, we are a bit east.
Yes, I can see this. This is not the place I ever want to be again. Right. I could try this one more time, and then we're fucked for the day. Are you ready? You want to do this again?
I mean, how far are we? Can we walk?
It's still a pretty hefty journey.
It'd be
If we try to walk.
a week to
Okay.
2 weeks, especially without horses. It'd be
Yeah.
2
Okay.
weeks.
Let's go.
That's much better. As you guys teleport outside the Hornhabu Mountains, right at the steps with that roll, and you see him smiling this time. He's like, much better. Okay, up and Adam's Eve, up's a daisy, and you see her being like, no. She bites into his arm. He's like, fuck! The teeth sink right in, and he's just like,
Eve!
And you see Eve not even look, she just waves her hand and easily heals it. And he's like, that's not okay. And you see Eve talking in a different language, moving her hand.
I will help her up and, be a carrier.
As Ipso's here, he's like, okay. And I'm ignoring. I'm pretty sure there's a limit on how many people can teleport, but I'm ignoring it for the sake of brevity.
It's a pretty reasonable limit. It's like
It gets you and 7
plus
people.
8, you plus
We're
7.
good.
Oh, you plus 7. Okay, then that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Then we're fine. You see Ipso sort of get like a tear in his eye, and he's just like, this is, I haven't seen it in a while. This is, come on. And you guys go up the stairs. It takes a while, not like Skyrim to the voice of the world, throat of the world, but it's like half that, but no troll, thankfully. As you guys go up, and as you come into the cave, you can hear the clanking of steel, but you also hear the song. There just seems to be this wonderful song being sung back and forth between all these builders in here, and it's soothing and it's catchy, and you walk in on the 3 dwarfs that are inside here, each of them working on different metals and stoneworks with the forge just lit by the fires, all this beautiful orange cast in this basically alcove that has been carved out of rock to form this living area. There's just 3 bed sprawls. It is extremely minimalistic, and you can see just piles and piles of plate armor and swords and shields and all this stuff being made inside here as they're busily working and singing along with one another. This is Bema, Phalon, and Len. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Okay. Let's go all the way to a mountain to maybe get Shalmir back.
Anyway, welcome back. As you guys see the dwarfs, as their singing is going, Ipso starts singing along, and the 3 of them see Ipso, and they start getting into this like rhythm, and Ipso picks up some of the like laying around tools, and he starts getting to work, and you can actually see like this orange aura coming off of all their tools as they start working in this unison, and there's this beautiful display of craftsmanship happening here in this very modest forge. And once they finish, and like every hit of their tools is like in rhythm with the song, and it's this extreme satisfaction as you guys watch and listen as this like ritual performs. And when it finishes, you can see all of them erupt into laughter and start hugging one another, and it's happy to see one another. And the dwarfs are like, "What are you doing back here, huh? I thought your last was way out in at Fanlin with the Special Forge. As the Mountain Lord left you now, Ipso. Gotta come back and relearn the tenets." And Ipso's like, no, that's not it. We have guests I brought. And you can see, I can see that. They don't look like workers to me. They're gonna be a
no,
problem,
not
aren't
really.
they? And he goes,
Listen,
no, hopefully not.
Could you just help us find the forge that Shalmir worked on? Because we're trying to bring him back to life, and it's taken way too long.
You see him look like, well, I mean, he built a lot of forges, and this is one he's built here. What are you gonna do with our forge? We're kind of in the middle of a great process right here for the Mountain Lord.
Was there one that he like preferred the most, or that he was closest to?
Nope.
Because we just need to be near it.
Nope.
He wasn't that kind of guy.
Do you have any stuff here?
Did he have stuff? No, he just kind of sat with his tablets all the time. That's basically what he did. And we were like, hey, Shalmir, you want to go do something fun? And he's like, this is fun. And we were like, all right, guy.
Ipso, you mentioned he scribed tablets or something. The wall.
Oh, yeah. Here, they're in his quarters. Come here. And you see the other dwarfs being like, yeah, the tenants. And one of them just like, the tenants. As they walk around. You guys find Shalmir's room. There's still a bedroll laid out here, and you can see these stones. 3 of them are carved out and laid against the wall inside here. And Shalmir's room, again, doesn't have... It's very modest. Those tablets, they have our tenets inside them of what the Mountain King said to him. And those are all the things we live by. Righteousness and the mountain, rocks and shit. As he looks up to your group.
Eve, will this work?
I don't
Eve's
know.
so drunk off her ass. Looks just like, will it work? Why don't you ask the picky gods of death? Aren't you friends with... Oh, no, that's the other fucking group. She, like, leans back against the wall.
Wait, what?
You see Ipso's like, it's probably worth a shot here, as he goes to pick up the tablet. And you see on the wall, these fires erupt on the wall, and they grow bright. Think like Lord of the Rings, when he tosses the ring into the fire, and the inscription is shown. That starts showing on the wall, and all of you can hear this voice that sounds familiar. It's the same voice you heard inside the vault when Shalmir picked up the grass stone half. And you hear, a plague covers the still hot forge. Inside Karshtul, a fire burns. Stoke its coals to stoke its swords. Overwhelming all the odds, but death is fully. Under the ground lays your answers. And it burns brightly into the wall, and then it fades. And you can see it's carved in this beautiful script that is dwarvish. You see Ipso looks back at the stone and is like, yeah, he never does that to anybody else, so feel like he's got a special place for Shalmir. Kind of makes you feel lonely, doesn't it? Been making like armor for 2.5 years. He just drops the stone and walks out. Did he ever talk to you guys? As he's going out there and talking to the other dwarfs. What are you guys doing?
Tellius, are you able to get Eve a little bit more clear-headed at the moment?
I can try. Let's see.
Do you have less restoration?
I'm not seeing it.
Or greater
It's
restoration?
either lesser restoration, or he might be able to use his paladin
Lay on hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he
That
uses
would do it.
like 5 points, he can remove a poison
Sure, Tellius does
or
that.
disease.
Tellius puts his hands on Eve and removes it, and Eve's just like, I can do that if I wanted to. And as it comes off her, you see her being like, just pounding. What do you want?
Can we try, doing again here?
Yes, she takes the ashes, she takes the stone, and he casts resurrection, true resurrection. The jewel goes up, and as she uses the stones, she focuses hard, and you can feel again like Shalmir's presence with you guys coming closer and closer, and you can feel him almost like embracing each and every one of you, like hand on the shoulder, pat, happy to see you type of deal. About 45 minutes in, it just stops. The diamond falls back down, and Eve begins to curse again. And she turns to you guys, she goes, "This is not on me. Something is blocking me from bringing him back." And she walks out again, and before she says something, she's not so nice.
What did the mountain god say? Anybody catch that? I don't.
It's still
Well, it's written on the wall.
It's still written there? Oh, I thought it faded away.
Who can read it?
I
Dwarvish.
can't.
Awkward sauce. There is 3 dwarfs inside here, so there's always that. You can go ask them.
Excuse us. I call out the door.
Oh, you're in for it, Hunter. Let me tell you. You think you're done now. You're in for it. All right. They come in. Oh, looks like the special folks in here get to talk to the old mountain lord, huh? Out here busting our backs for him, and he doesn't send a lick. You come up here searching for his favorite person who left us. Get a special telegram from him. A plate covers a still hot forge. There's 2,000 there. Get rid of that. Don't worry about that. Inside, car's tool of fire burns. Stoke its coals to stoke your swords. Oh, he does that. He always talks in rhymes, doesn't he? You see one of the other dwarves being like, I've never heard him in my life. He does. Overwhelming are the odds, but death is fully under the ground, lays your answers.
What is car's tool?
I'm damned if I know. Do any of you guys know? You see the other 2 dwarves? I've never heard of that. You see another dwarf. I thought I heard something about that.
Didn't
Shalmir say some stuff about that place? Ipso coming back from his extremely wounded ego. Probably. I mean, he is like the chosen one or something.
Do I know anything? Do I know anything about a car's tool?
Go ahead and make a history check.
That is a 12.
Shalmir might have mentioned it. Definitely nothing you came across.
I look at the map. Do I see it?
No.
Good try.
Four Leaf, do you know anything about a car's tool?
I can't say I do. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that was really loud in my ear. I could ask Blackstaff or someone back home if they know anything about it.
Actually, I have a thought first.
Yeah.
Tellius,
Yes.
do you think you might be able to reach out to Matthew and ask him if he knows what a car's
Cheers, that's a good idea.
tool is?
I suppose I could. Since you asked so nicely, and I'm getting so bored of this bullshit. Let's get our friend back. Hey, Matt. Tullius here. Have you ever heard of a car's tool? You need information about it. Please try to keep it short.
Tell them where we are.
We are inside the
Hornhabu Mountains.
Haba Haba Mountains, I think. Matt. Hornhabu Mountains? Rumors said that was a decimated dwarven city. It hasn't been seen for a long time. Not much is known. Did you find it? Tell you sent another message. We will. That's it.
Good use of the spell slot. Very
Use the
good.
whole spell slots to say, we will.
Yep. That's on brand. Telius communicates out with you guys. Some lost dwarven city, apparently. Kind of goes hand in hand with the dwarven writings, and, you know, he was all about dwarves and this mountain dude. Seems pretty odd and weird and all that.
Just gonna say to Ipso, I mean, have you seen any dwarven ruins or anything like that around here? I mean,
We all came from the south into the mountains. We never saw of it. Shalmir talked of living with the dwarves, and he lived in a great dwarven city. I guess it stands to reason it would have been called Karstool.
Problem is Hunter knows where it is, but Tyrion
Yeah.
doesn't.
I don't know where it is.
there's so many questions I could ask to like try to open it up, but not Zeph.
Yep. Just sort of, this is the path you guys picked, and I'm sorry. This is just how it is. You can't just...
We could have just gone to Mohi.
He could have. I'm sure that would have definitely been fine. 100% fine.
No issues there.
Okay, what else? Is there anything else in this text? No, that's the only thing that gives any sort of indication of where to go.
Well, I mean, if so, you said that Shalmir carved this place out of the mountain.
Yeah.
So do you know if there's significance to this place? Is there a reason? I mean, perhaps it must be nearby then. If he was living with these dwarves, why would he choose this place?
I mean, he could have been nearby. I mean, maybe.
Did he ever say he came from a direction?
See, Ipso
South,
thinking
east,
real
west,
hard.
north?
Again, you're talking like 15 years. So Ipso, and he's in a bad place right now. Man. Possibly, as you can see, Ipso is fucking zero help right now. You see Torleaf at that, just like, okay, fuck this, as he walks outside. And he seems to be doing his own spells, talking to people.
I would also like to go outside and just like climb up as high as I can and just look in every direction, see if I can see anything that's of any
It's going to take you,
significance.
like hours
Oh, yeah.
to climb a
Oh, yeah.
fucking mountain. And
Yep.
this is not one of the tallest mountains inside the entirety of this mountain range. So what
I'm
you
trying,
see is...
looking for any trace of dwarven architecture.
Go ahead and make a investigation check. As you rage, investigation check.
18?
18. You know, you pick up on a lot of stuff, but the problem is this is a fucking mountain range. And it's a lot of mountains and not enough hidden cities or anything to find. As
I'm just
time
gonna start looking around the
yeah.
forage area to see if
give me an investigation check.
anything pops up. Ooh, that's pretty good. Total 20.
As you're looking around the forge, you notice this strange, like, almost looks like a perfect latch of sorts against one of the wall faces away from a forge, tucked away in a corner against a wall nobody would really ever need to look at. But it's strange. It's just like you can see like the cutout, like it's someone reformed the wall of the mountain here. It's very strange. It clearly looks man-made.
Can I move it? Open it?
You can try pushing it. As you start pushing it, you can feel like a little latch, and then as you unclip the latch, the wall opens up a little bit.
And what do I find in here?
As you open the secret tunnel, it seems to be like this very dark chamber. You can't see shit. You have dark vision, but it's like pure black in here. So you light a fire with your hands, and looking around, it looks like some sort of like explosion happened in here. It's still singed on the ground. It looks like the epicenter was here in the middle of this small chamber. It's all carved out. You can see more writings across these walls in Dwarvish. A lot more writings inside here. There is nothing else inside besides just carvings of these scripts. And as you continue looking around the walls, you actually can see a drawing of a dwarven city on the inside the wall as well.
I found something!
The group comes in, the dwarfs look around, and they're like, how long's this shit been here?
Probably a long time based on how the entrance looked.
As they're reading
It was
through
kind of hidden and tucked away.
They're looking through, and they're like, looks like Shalmir had his secrets. As they're reading through the stuff, and they're like, that's more than I needed to know. As they're continuing reading through this stuff. Yeah. Sounds like Shalmir came from Karstool. You see one of the other dwarfs being like, yeah, that's pretty obvious at this point, I would think, right? I mean, God literally just told us that. Just like, I'm just reading the whatever.
Is there anything that indicates where we might find this car's tool?
These are more like almost journals or memories Shalmir didn't want to forget. Some of which I don't know if I really want to share with you guys.
We found Shalmir's diary.
Tell me the hot goss.
He went through a lot. That's what I'll leave that at. It's between him and the Mountain Lord. As Torleaf walks back and he's like, hey, if you're gone, I'm gone. Hello?
We're not gone.
No, we're in here.
Oh, okay. And he like squats because he's really thin and tall, and he comes back in here. He's like, oh my, what happened here? And oh, that's too much information. As he's looking on the walls and reading Dwarvish, he's just like, all right, so, Blackstaff has heard about this. This has been the point of interest since this was brought up, apparently, to her. This type of lost dwarven city is the same thing that our boy Salem has actually been looking towards. That's why he was tracking down a dwarf inside Waterdeep. So I'm just, I was waiting for Shalem to get back to me, and he tracked him down. And apparently, he is a survivor of Karstool. He used to live there. And I was like, that's the darndest story. I'm out of spell slots, so Tellius, you're gonna have to message Salem to get the rest of it. This is where I leave, rapidly annoyed at the situation as he walks out. Tellius being like, I guess I'm the star of the show again. Hey, Salem, heard you've been having a rough day. Where's Karstool? Tell me now. Now.
Ow!
You hear Salem. It's Tellius. It's within the Hornboom Mountains. It's once was a peninsula, but was drawn in from the coast. Strange story. It's hidden in the mountains. Go north. Talia sends him a message. Your north or my north? Like, do you know where we are? We're at the mountains, and Salem replies, like, Torleaf told me, your north, Telius.
North.
Be safe. I'll be there
North,
with friends
same.
as soon as possible. Telius looks to all of you. I know where it is, but I'm not telling any of you.
Alright, guess I'll just die.
I just pull the jar of ash out and I just stare at him.
That's unfair. It's time to go north. As Telius leaves. Follow me.
I put it away.
All right. Ipso's like, all right, I'm good. I'm getting back to my forge. Torleaf, if you want to, like, zip me back there. And Torleaf's like, tomorrow. He's like, oh, I guess I'll just work here tonight. And they all continue. And they're like,
He's
all
working
right,
remote.
bye. Bye then. Bye now. Bye. Good to see you. Goodbye. Goodbye. As they're all waving to you. And as you guys can hear, they're like, thought they'd never leave as they get back to singing and working on their armors. The group travels north. Give me an investigation check for the group to see when the fuck you run into Car's tool.
Investigation.
Oh no.
Yep.
Not survival.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. Right, I guess we're discovering
Are we each gonna do it, or
something
is it like
crazy.
It's a group thing. So let's get some new music going.
I rolled a 15.
9.
Oh, yeah. This is the music we need now.
King DDD.
No.
King DDD Superstar Saga.
No, it's uploading, you little bitches.
18?
Oh, boy. This
King
is the
DDD.
session of we never find Shalmir because we're bad.
Natural 20 for a 25.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
As the group wanders for hours through mountains and traveling, and like Zeph is insistent at just trying to get to the highest point, being like, "I'll be able to see it." Tyrion, through your rage and like cutting away from the party at some point and just shooting like fireballs off, just being like, not literally burning your spell, but like, this is so frustrating. And Kolvith being like, oh, it's like they want a hidden city to stay hidden. It's so tough. And clearly getting mad with Kolvith being like, eat shit, Kolvith, and shooting fire at him. As you shoot the fire at him and he disappears out of the way, like, you look at the mountains and the way they're aligned, you're like, and you start looking and you see, like, the way the clouds are moving, there's like, that doesn't match the sky. As you're looking at this area, give me an Arcana check.
This one is a 11.
Easy enough because of your natural 20 as well, and just the basics of the spell. You're like, that's an illusion spell. I bet it's under the illusion spell. As you return to the group and you point out, like,
Guys, I think we should go this way.
Let's do it.
as you guys approach, you cross the threshold, and as soon as you cross the threshold of the illusion, you're bombarded with the sound of thousands of voices and the clanking of steel as you just see before you a sprawling bronze and gold stone city. Smoke and fire sprout to the tops of the many watchtowers on top of the ramparts, each crowned in this gold coloring. You can see thousands of orcs inside the walls, inside camps outside the walls, and throughout the city. Karshtul still carries its wounds from the past as rubble and collapsed roofs litter the dwarven city. Many of the towers are connected by expertly crafted bridges. Many of the dwarf statues still remain carved into these walls, into these ramparts, gates, towers, all across the city. But any close to the ground have been desecrated by the orcs. Many of the dwarven heads have been removed. Of the many interconnecting bridges and towers, there appears to be a centralized tower in which a throne has been brought out in front of the entrance. A large-looking orc sits bored on the throne, and from this distance he must be of substantial size to be seen so clearly. There's cages all around that you can gather are probably the bones of dwarfs, and there's pikes of holding the skulls of many past dwarves all throughout the halls of Karshtul. If you had to guess, you're looking about an army of 15 to 20,000 orcs are before you guys right now.
Yeah, let's not pick a fight.
We can take them.
Yeah, just tell us. I think that's a brilliant idea. I think you've got this. You just run.
You're right. I can do it.
And you save the day.
Yep, I'll do it. Right after you. Well, we should contact Salem, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we found it. Salem. Hi, Salem. Tellius here. Found it. Hours later. Hope you're not sleeping. It's probably really late. It is north. You were right. Under illusion. I'll send another one. Sorry. Many orcs, thousands of them actually, and it looks like there are prison camps. That I think we found them. Send troops, lots of them, lots and lots of. Okay, I gotta stop that. And then Tellius' message. So it looks to you guys like, so what's the game plan? What are we doing?
Most of our people have spent a lot of their spells today.
I'm saying we should find some place to make camp that isn't immediately in the enemy encampment.
How long did we take to actually travel here from the...
Probably about 5 hours with those rolls.
Not bad.
So it's getting late in the day again. You've gone through a few days as this search has gone on. Eve's with you and she's like, we can nestle down in a cave and figure out our plan of action. You guys are easily enough to find a cave. You're safe. You can have your long rest. But plan of action. Eve looks to you guys and is like, well, if the Mountain Lord contacted you, what did he say again? Maybe that'll give us a hint on what we're supposed to do.
So he said...
It's in the general, Eve.
He said we have to find a forge beneath the city and stoke its coals to stoke its swords.
That seems pretty straightforward to me.
So I think our main plan is to try and get inside the city, find this forge, reactivate it, and then somehow it's gonna give us answers.
We've already started one peasant rebellion. Why not start another one?
You see Eve start to laugh.
We can certainly cause some chaos if we'd like.
I think we could do a lot of damage here, but I think even these numbers would be a bit much for us.
Well, actually, I was thinking just to, I don't know if we want to because it might lead to searching in the immediate, but Zeph, how far can you shoot an arrow?
Accurately?
No. Just somewhere in that arm.
Well, pretty far. I mean, I have 600 range, I guess, probably, because that's
600.
And that's actually inaccurate because I have sharpshooter. So, accurately at 600.
See, if we can get 600 feet away, I can put a fireball on your arrow.
That would definitely send a message and stir a lot up.
I did see that guy on the throne. Maybe we could take that guy on the throne out immediately.
That would hurt.
It's, worth a shot. That's certainly out of 600 feet range, but
It's a tenth of a mile. Just about.
the city is like 5 miles wide circumference. The place is huge. And the dwarven cities, the dwarves make everything gigantic. It's got to be to the heavens with their architecture. Up to you guys to do what you want to do. You take your long rest over the night into the morning. You can make your
My thought was just to do it now before we take our rest.
Sure, if you want to do that.
But they might start sending out like search parties when a massive explosion goes off in the middle of their army.
I would think so.
Personally, I would prefer the stealthy route, but I know that you guys aren't typically quiet.
I just want to cause chaos.
You just see Tellius just like jingling his armor. Stealth.
Maybe a mixture of both.
Why don't we wait until the troops are closer?
Okay.
God, I hate this. You guys are making me responsible.
Alright. Then, next day, you wake up in the morning. As you awake to the sounds of a orc fight, you can see orcs literally outside the walls that are supposed to be on guard, cutting into each other, and one orc kills the other and beats his chest, and you see the orcs see this, and they're like, ah, you go. You get a sense, like, these are very different. Like, you're almost offended, Tyrion, because Grit is, like, the fucking man, and you're seeing this nonsense, and you're like, what? This is the bullshit and stories people make up. This isn't real.
Mm-hmm.
And they're out and about early in the morning. You can see them whipping some of their prisoners, and you can see having them move rocks and crap and doing work and cackling. The king doesn't seem to be anywhere on his throne at the moment. He's roaming around here and there. You see this massive orc looking around, and you see him just like grab a person, just like crush the head and put it down, and he walks over to something else. Obviously, this is from very far away, so you guys are just seeing like, what? Like a Carmen San Diego, or what's the guy? Where's Waldo? Picture worth of basically Karstool. And you're just like, whoa! Every now and then, like, whoa! This place is really cool. Whoa! It's worse than find Waldo. It's like, find the atrocity. Except there's lots of them. There's not just one Waldo. You do notice towards the southern end, that place seems to be a lot more demolished, and it seems like a lot more of the like lower class orcs are down there guarding and live down there. They're on top of each other. It's pretty dense, but like that is one section that stands out to you besides the rest. That is the upper section of sorts. You can see a hierarchy already took place.
So do you guys want to try to get down there? I mean, I don't... How like... What are the pathways down? Is it just one big staircase into like the city?
Oh no, there's mountains everywhere, dude. So there's walkable pathways. You can... Anywhere around this mountain you can get to get to Karstool. This place has the illusion because it is super vulnerable inside the mountains, but it's also super hidden inside the mountains. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to get a fucking army.
Should we scout?
I can go ahead.
Yeah, probably.
I will go ahead and try to find a path, the path of least resistance.
Go make a survival check.
24.
Easy enough. Looking around the paths and making your surveillance, you can tell that same southern gate that is in disarray is the worst trained orcs and clearly the least disciplined. And you find openings like no problem as you see orcs kill each other, and then the orcs that relieve them on guard come hours later. And by your watch, when the next relieving happens, like these guys are late or just don't even give a shit about their posts.
All right, I will swing around, tell the rest of my group, and say, let's go ahead and just wait until they kill each other. We should be fine.
As you guys wait, as annoyed as shit as you are at this point,
What do the mountain lords say? Under the ground lays your answers.
you see the guards start going at it again, almost like clockwork, these idiots fighting. And as they're shoving each other over, they're on the ground punching the crap out of each other. Their swords are on the sides. They're completely distracted and brawling at this point toward the fallen gate and one of the fallen towers of the Dwarven City.
I think that's our cue.
You guys gonna go?
Good.
Give me stealth checks!
I
I'll roll
will
for
keep an
Tullius.
arrow drawn.
Oh, lucky you fucks. Disadvantage, he rolled a double 14. That's good shit.
We're gonna need it.
16.
16.
Yeah,
Wait, do we have Pass Without a Trace?
We don't. I didn't cast it, so.
All right.
Give me stealth checks. Tell me.
27. 27.
Okay,
16.
okay.
6.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
4.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Well,
As you guys
that's how it ends, guys.
are walking through Ignatius and Tyrion, Ignatius stops short as the brawl comes close to you guys, and you're like, oh shit, oh, they're gonna see me. And Tyrion legit is like, what the fuck, Ignatius? And then trips right over the guys fighting, and the two of them go like, what? Oh! And they take out their swords and they're like, hey! What are you doing here? And it's
Shoot 'em.
orc, so only you, go ahead and roll attack. Only you, Ignatius, like, understand them as they're talking in orc.
Mm-hmm.
Shalmir, quick turn shoot. What's everybody else doing?
Def.
31
31 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
I guess I'll kill the other one.
Okay, go ahead and swing to attack.
This is what we're doing? This is what we're doing.
Is what we're doing.
So I get 3 attacks on my first roll.
Go for it.
So
So it's a 29.
All right.
6
You got
hit,
advantage too on these guys.
21 to hit.
Yeah.
So that's
If you crit Zeph, he's dead. For sure. You don't even have to calculate.
yeah. I mean, it's like
It's
35 right now. I can use a sneak attack as well.
It's sounding rough.
17.
17 damage. All right. Zeph
can
puts
hit
an
him again.
arrow right through the guy's head as you just take out your. What do you have on you? Maul, sword? What do you got?
The Adam's greatsword.
Adam's greatsword. You just like. As they're questioning Ignatius, and Ignatius is about to be diplomatic with them, he's like, oh, we're trying to talk to him, and just arrow through one side, and you're like, ah! And you just carve right into him. He's saying like, ah! His shitty garbage sword breaks in half with his arm as the sword cuts through into him. Not dead yet, though, and you see him like, oh, and he's trying to reach for a horn on his
I'm gonna
Kick him in the head.
Firebolt.
go ahead and roll an attack.
That is a 29 to hit for Firebolt.
Yeah, that hits.
That is another 18 fire damage.
Yeah, his face erupts into fire.
Oh,
Now he's shouting, he's like, whoa! And as he's screaming horribly, you can hear up on the ramparts an orc going, yeah! Whoa!
Doesn't even care.
And as he burns to death and goes to the ground, you can hear, as the silence happens, you hear like 5 cheers up top being like, ah! No one looks. No one even gives you guys a second.
Let's move the burn to 1.
Alright. take the body.
If we
go
leave
ahead.
one dead body here, it won't look suspicious.
That's true.
I'll
Tyrion,
have
this
to
is
take my
why.
arrow.
Give me a sleight of hand check to move to how well you can hide the body, and an intelligence check.
I'll do a sleight of hand check. 23.
Easily enough. And then intelligence check for how well you can hide them.
I'm gonna help him with that since it was my idea.
Sure, give him advantage.
Just a straight intelligence.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I saw web DM, so you're in trouble now.
14.
You have lots of
16.
Yeah, easily enough. You're able to make it look like this fucking idiot fell into the fire. You go over to one of the like metal steel where there's a fire burning right now by one of the entrances. You just knock that shit over right next to him. And Tyrion just like turns off the fire so doesn't start a fire and burn the whole damn place down. But just makes it look like he dunked his head into the fire like an idiot or got dunked into there. As the two of them are laying dead.
It's an orc swirly.
All right.
Moving in.
Yeah, we have to find a forge.
All right. As
Sure.
you guys walk in, you find this beautiful, even though it's pretty beat to shit, foyer
Now I'll cast Pass Without a Trace.
of all these dwarven statues in front of you. And you also see two orcs walking past. Go ahead and give me stealth checks. Oh my god, Tullius, fuck you! That's a 22. Who's Path Without a Trace?
35.
22.
14.
Okay.
24.
Ignatius. As you hear them going by, you can hear so then he's like, I'm just as much an orc as you are. I'm like, you're a little bitch. And that's when I punched him in the face and took his tooth and his tusk. And I was like, ah, those half orcs never learn, stupid bitches, as they walk by. And as they go by, you guys enter into this area. You can see multiple passageways and all sorts of collapsed staircases and places that lead deeper into the city, potentially, and different corridors that could potentially lead beneath Kar's Tool.
I mean, I will lead people, I guess, because I don't know if it's a survival check or not, but
Yeah,
I think I'm going to be trying to go as deep as possible.
All right, go ahead and make me a survival check as you guys continue down.
To do what it-
We're going down, down.
Natural 20, 29. Did you know that you can right click and roll at advantage, disadvantage?
No.
Oh, shit.
DBR.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
I didn't know that, and I accidentally right clicked. And there it is.
That's really cool.
Very cool.
Anyway, 29.
29. Basically, think what you saw in the Hobbit movie, not the bad parts, but the structure of the mountain, and that's what you're seeing here. This place is totally a monument to incredible dwarven architecture and smithing. At the 20, you find yourself steering clear of collapsing tops and collapsed bridges and towers and just all the rubble, forges that have been destroyed. You find lots of bodies of dwarfs down here. As you go deeper and deeper, some still decaying, some preserved from being buried underneath this tower that clearly was destroyed during the attack. Many of them were caught in this devastation. Many of the doors here are a pain in the ass for you guys, but it's basically Charnook and Tullius just kick over the tops. They're very small in a lot of the areas for how the dwarfs get around. There's a lot of like just curving around sections of the walls, but because it's in disarray and you guys are going deeper and deeper to the earth, it seems like a lot of the ruins have allowed you guys to have better footing to get around inside here. But as you get deeper and deeper, you can see this it looks like an armory of sorts with a bridge. It looks pretty roughed up, but there's this big gate, and it looks like there's an armory. Like, you can see all sorts of swords and shields. And with the gate that's down that you can see through it, the portcullis, you can see like a dwarven skeleton up onto like trying to get into that place. It's this very wide out area as you guys travel for maybe about 15 or 20 minutes into the echoes of this dwarven city. Deep within, you find that there are just tons and tons of passageways that cross every which way. And even Zeph, with your natural 20, you're getting lost and you have to come back sometimes to get your bearings. Like, okay, now I know where I am. And you are following this place around, just amazed by how complicated and brilliant these paths are, and how it would take these orcs years to try and track down any dwarves that fled into these tunnels. But you guys end up at this bridge. So what do you want to do? That's the first big point of interest. Yeah, very much like the Balrog.
You said that at the end of the bridge there's a portcullis.
Yeah.
Is the bridge like destroyed, or is
it looks
seem
rough.
to be intact?
It's rough. Some pieces are crumbling.
How far is it?
Probably like 500 feet across.
I can't jump that.
I
I
mean,
can try to jump that.
I can go first. I mean, it seems that if it falls, I can maybe save myself.
Do you want me to like tie a rope to you so if you fall I can catch you?
I don't think that's necessary. I'm just gonna try to carefully get across this bridge.
Give me an athletics check.
Does Zeph have one of the Ring of the Valkyries?
I was about to ask that because I have one.
He's gone. He's already on the bridge. As Ignatius like, oh, rings going up. As Zeph is going across the bridge right now.
Whoops. I rolled the animal hand by accident.
Yeah, don't do that.
16.
16.
But what if the bridge was actually a big serpent?
Funny you say that. The bridge begins to collapse.
Oh.
And as the bridge starts to shudder and collapse down, it's still holding, but you get about 200 feet across, and you do some keeping your balance, thankfully. But you see it is narrowed significantly, and now it's like Charnuk's going to have issue trying to get through this Intellius because it's maybe 3 feet wide, the path that's still remaining on this falling bridge. This is not meant to support the weight of anything very heavy, and you're not even that heavy. You're lighter than dwarves. It seems like, as you examine it, the bridge was definitely sabotaged by the dwarves at some point during the war.
How long did it take to get it for him to get out there?
Cautiously, I don't know, a minute. I'll say about a minute. 5 seconds just to thwart a spell. A standard spell. I'm scared. Tyrion's got me worried with a delay fireball. That's all I'm worried about. That's it. We're done. We're not getting Shalmir. We're going home. Just kill Zeph.
I have a thought on what we might try to do. If we can get across in a reasonable fashion. Charnuk, how do you feel about trying to get inside the bag?
Try.
You see Eve go, I only have 2 of these.
Well, so the bag, a creature can live inside it for up to 10. It has up to 10 minutes worth of air.
Oh.
After which they start to suffocate.
I can hold my breath for a pretty long time too.
So yeah, what's your modifier?
+3 right now.
So you can hold your breath for an additional 3 minutes beyond that.
So I mean,
That should be
just
enough
as
time.
long. Yeah. What are you gonna do to get across yourself?
I mean, I could try to get across myself because I'm small. I'm small.
See Tullius has been like, well, I'm just offended.
I'm not very big.
Can you fly?
Not yet.
I wasn't sure if you took that.
You see Tullius being like, well, I'm going to do whatever I want, and he summons Bigsby's hand, and he's going to carry him.
Well, that,
Oh wait, what about Kabosh?
Kabosh is
It's-
gone.
he is Kabosh.
God.
The ring was taken when we got enslaved, and he never got it back.
Actually, okay.
I wonder if that was on purpose.
You mean the Storm Giant Belt and the Jin Ring are magically gone and never returned?
Oh man.
Yeah, it's kind of like you should have took down the final boss for the best yet.
All right, I'll get in the bag. Just 1 foot at a time, I guess.
Yeah, just do your best.
Okay.
All right. As you go into the bag of holding, you begin suffocating immediately. Hold your breath, bitch. All right, he's in the bag. It
That
is just
doesn't make
blackness.
sense.
It's very weird. He's not suffocating, but he feels no air.
There is some air.
No, not in this one. Fuck him.
Wow, that's rude.
You guys have 2 bag of holdings. You picked the wrong bag of holding to go into, buddy. This is the.
Is there already somebody in here?
This is the cheek. That's be more fun. You look over and you see like one of the panicked dwarfs. No, there's nobody in here. You're hallucinating.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to make my way across.
Give me an athletics check, and you two again, Zeph.
I'm also,
Ignatius.
before I leave, I'm going to tie myself to a, actually, no, it's going to be way too long. Yeah, so I'm just going to make my way across.
All right. As everybody makes their way across, give me your athletics checks.
Ooh.
13 athletics.
Athletics.
Ooh.
Man, Far Step would be a really good spell to have right here.
Where's your monks at?
Athletics.
2.
Oof.
18.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
What about you, Zeph?
13.
13. Zeph, as you're going forward carefully, Tyrion running behind you, he's just like, I got this. He's following exactly where you went. And just before you're like, wait, and you can literally see where you just left, it's weakening. And you see Tyrion just go like, oh. As the bridge collapses, and you're just like, oh, fuck me. As underneath your feet, Ignatius, the bridge collapses as well. All of you guys begin to go into a free-for-all as Eve didn't even get on the bridge yet. She's just like, as you guys are falling, give me a dex saving throw for Tyrion to hold on to the bag of holding.
What? It's attached to me.
Oh, it's attached to you.
Yeah, I'm wearing it like a backpack.
With all the rubble, bring it close to you so it doesn't get cut off and fall on a ledge that you guys have to
Oh my
potentially gain.
gosh, this guy just wants us to kill people.
Kill me, do it.
You said what was this roll?
Dex saving. How your hands?
Set 16.
Easily enough. There was a rock coming for you, man. That thing was going to cut it off, fall on a ledge. This would have been a whole thing. You would have had minutes to save them. Fuck that. You held on to it.
What I am gonna do though, however, is try to get as close and grab onto Zeph.
Yeah. Zeph.
I'm gonna cast Rope Trick.
Good spell.
As the rope just appears out of nowhere. It's a little pocket dimension. You're like, ugh! Just spinning in air as Ignatius and Tyrion are slowly going to the ground, and Bigsby's hand is slowly coming down with now Eve and Tullius as you chase you guys down for quite a long fall. It comes close to you, and he's just like, hop on to Zeph, who's just holding him midair on a rope.
Okay. I'll jump on, I guess.
You go on, and you
Another life debt.
You guys go down. 5 minutes of falling. You feel the Valkyrie's wings come out around you, and as you guys gently hit the ground, you see Tullius, like, was in panic mode like 3 times over, as he had to recast Bixby's hand, and even Eve was helping him out with other ridiculous spells, but she eventually just does slow fall, and he's just like feather fall, and she's just like...
Once we get to the ground, I'm gonna let Charnook out of the bag.
Alright. Charnook...
You lied to me, Tyrion. Was this your plan all along?
What do you mean?
There was no air in there. You lied to me.
It should always have air because
There was
it's always
no
open.
air. As soon as I went in, I
Unless
started suffocating.
There's something else in there?
I don't know. I didn't see anything. It was just dark and
'Cause
no air.
I have our original bag of holding, not the one we picked up.
I have the second one,
Yeah.
Yep, that's definitely nothing in there. That's definitely
which is
not
empty.
Tullius's
Well, it's not empty, but we haven't put anything in it.
Definitely nothing weird about Tullius's uncle's bag.
Empty it right now.
As you look
Wait, have
around,
we emptied
Wait,
this?
why would there be anything? I don't know, because it was already emptied.
it was.
So,
You already emptied it. There's rubble all around from the bridge that just collapsed, and you can just see skeletons as the rubble comes. It's crushing dwarven skeletons, orc skeletons, all on the floor. You can see all these pillars and stuff collapsed, but you can see the small feint of light in one direction through some of the big pillars that are collapsed.
Oh.
What do you guys want to do now that you're on the ground floor, which is it actually has jagged pieces of work here. Like, clearly stone floor was laid for the solid foundation, and this is just, it just keeps going deeper. This place just goes deeper.
you said we fell for like
5
Five
minutes.
5 minutes.
Yep.
We fell more than half a mile.
Yeah.
That's because we fall 60 feet per second.
Yeah.
How's the light down
That's-
here?
That's
is
like
pitch
3,000
black besides that
feet.
little glowing you can see.
I'm going to cast light on my helmet.
Beautiful. It's
Just go
illuminated.
light and just slap my helmet.
You see hundreds of skeletons all around you guys, of orcs and dwarfs.
Mm.
Think Uncharted Legacy type of deal going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a cool section.
All right.
Well, looks
Walk
like
towards the light.
Okay.
we stumbled upon an old battlefield.
The Charnook, as you go over to it, it's really tiny hole. Like, you would have, you got to clear this. So you guys got to try and clear this path to get through. It's just rubble. You could probably just break through it if you wanted to, but it looks like
Through
it
first?
collapsed in. What's that?
Can I look through first? Is there anything on the other side?
As you look through, give me a perception check. It's dark in there.
In there, you're right. Oh, that's a natural 20 for a 26.
It's dark, but you can see this, like, a fire that resembles, like, you've been looking at forges all these past 3 goddamn days. That looks like a forge down here, and it looks like
Guys, I'm an expert on forges, and there's a forge in there.
It looks like there's a still lit forge all the way at the bottom here.
I'm gonna start clearing it.
What?
Right. Go ahead and start rage clearing.
Really good at that.
Yeah. It probably takes 20 minutes without anybody's help. If you're just by yourself trying to clear this.
I'm gonna
Just throwing rocks like a
I'm
friggin'
gonna do
lunatic.
I'm gonna do what I can.
Okay. Clearly, like, this, a whole side of a foundation collapsed in and just locked this place in, entombing it. When you guys open it up and walk inside, the place is rough looking, but you get a little bit of light. Besides the fire, it looks like there's like this light to the surface, ever so tiny, and you can actually see like trickles of water that have run its way eroding down into this area. Inside here, you find this beautiful dwarven forge as it sits in the center of the room. There's all these strange, like, blocks all around this room, and you see 2 bodies inside this room. They appear unmoving and bone-like.
Are they
Is there anything that looks like coals?
What do you mean coals? Coals as in...
Like a
Stuff
fire.
our
Yeah.
instructions were to stoke the forge.
Yeah. There is clearly coals underneath, like some that are simmering out that are underneath the forge. There are piles of different coal in an area, literally just like thrown about, massive pile. There's even a shovel there that, upon investigation, you can see there's like blood stains on the shovel that someone was clearly trying to use these.
Are the corpses dwarves?
They do not appear to be dwarves. Did you go and check the corpses?
Yeah.
Give me a medicine check.
Ooh.
Surprised they're mummies.
Not great. 11.
11. Even at 11, though, easy enough. As you check them out, you see their eyes zipping around, and these are just undernourished individuals that have been stuck down here. And they are both human. And you see long beard and long hair. They look horribly sick. And you can see it looks like they've had so little nutrition they can no longer move, the two of these individuals laying down here. And their eyes are just like looking to each of you in shock and disbelief.
These two seem alive. Anybody, I don't know, Eve or
Eve comes over and
Nations
she's
or-
like, I got this. And she casts a restoration spells on them, healing spells, and starts to get them going. She even casts like to create food and water. And over the course of the next hour, she starts trying to get these humans up here to a sense of stable. What are you guys doing during that time?
I'm gonna start looking around. Take a look at the shovel, and I might start bringing some coals over to the forge.
As you bring the coals over the forge, you can feel like the whole room pick up, and with it, there's almost like this pulsating, this heartbeat of the city is almost like coming alive as you're feeding this fire into this forge. On top of the forge, it looks like something was being made, and it's unfinished. And as the fire starts burning, you can see it starts to be melting whatever was on top of the forge. Anybody else doing anything?
What were those stones you said that were on the ground?
Yeah, you looking at them, Charnook, as you turn them over, it looks like tons and tons of casting. It looks like molds. All these different molds and all these weird shapes.
We're supposed to be making swords? Is that what we're doing? So it's stuff with swords? Is there one that looks like a sword?
No, actually, none of these resemble swords that you can find. Very strange, circular, long and thin.
Do they fit together like a puzzle?
Some of them seem to. Some seem like the same halves, and as you're putting them together over the past hour, you can finally hear the voices of a man talk up, and he's just like, "Thank you. Did the Mountain Lord send you?"
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I knew he would. There's got to be a reason he kept us alive all these years.
What are you doing down here?
When we were attacked by orcs many years ago, and we were just a small village. We lost our son. We tracked him down to here, but the orcs found this place as well. And in all the chaos, we fell, and I was broken, and so was my wife. But he kept us alive for some reason.
Out of curiosity, what's your son's name?
Our son's name is Shalmir. I am Radnir, and this is Malra, as he points over to the female that is still coming to.
Oh, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
You're not gonna believe what happened to your kid.
Well, I've got good news and bad news. Does it seem like this was the place he was staying at when he lived here?
I have no idea. We just fell down here, and the Mountain Lord wanted us to make something. Something he was supposed to make.
What did he want you to make?
I don't know. I'm not a smith. We just did whatever he showed us.
Let's try again.
Try what?
To make whatever the Mountain Lord wants us to make.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I'm just gonna continue to attempt to make this forge turn on.
What is the thing that's on top of the forge that's like
Is it like a
melting?
crucible?
Is it-
So like,
yeah, does it look like a...
there's like the forge itself, like there's heating on top, and like you can make stuff, and it clearly looks like the heat is almost like a pool of lava that you dunk shit into, and there's also like a place to fill into this mold. So the process itself looks like something goes into the mold, and then you dunk the mold into the fire and bring it out, and then it cracks open whatever's inside. That seems to be the process that's gone over and over again. Very strange, that's not what you do when you make this type of stuff. It's out there and clearly some wiggity whack shit. And whatever's on there is basically melted into the pot. The whole thing just went in at this point.
I mean, Eve, we could try to do the ritual here. We have
It's true.
his
If anyone knows how
parents.
to do it.
If his parents don't do it, it's not happening. She sits down, crosses her legs, and she looks at the two of them and she goes, I'm going to need your help. And now that they're coming to your senses, they're like, what are you? I've never seen something like you. And then you see Tellius walk over and he's like, I know, isn't she weird? Am I right? And the wife's just like, I'll be sure we haven't passed to the other side yet. He's like, I'm in so much pain. There's no way. She goes, I want you to think of Shalmir. I want you to think of your son. This will help me. They're baffled. Baffled. And she casts True Resurrection. As the ashes are out and the diamond floats above, the jar of ashes shatters. And the ash, this wind comes all the way through the forge, and the ash just goes all about the area and scatters, and like in a fit of panic, you guys are like, Shalmir's gone.
Oh,
Oh god, oh god.
As Eve continues casting the spell, the diamond itself shatters, and that drifts out into the wind. And as you guys start to hear this like rhythm, this song start building, some dwarven hum inside this forge, the lava around the center of the forge explodes upwards and down, causing all of you guys to back off. And on the where the mold was once sitting but melted and fell off, before you stands Shalmir.
oh.
Ah!
And
Jesus Christ.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Do I have
Why?
any memory whatsoever
You
of
do.
anything?
You do.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch. I'll let you know generally
Yeah.
Wow.
what we do and don't.
So how is heaven for the past 5 years?
It has not been in heaven.
Oh, rip, dude. Should have been better.
It was all of 5 seconds to you, basically, in the sense, like, memories-wise. You saw a Orlif spell hit you in the face, and little some, and now you're here. So, to you, it feels like no time has really passed.
How long in the making is this?
Like a year.
A very long time. He died in episode session 31. We're at 92. 61
60
sessions.
episodes.
Plus one-shots and all the other stuff.
Yep.
Shalmir has returned.
Shalmir